Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Let me see. Can I be heard? Anybody can let me know I can be heard? Okay, I don't know what's going on. But luckily I always do like multiple recordings of my videos. So I got different, recordings out there that I'm recording right now as I talk to you all in real time. Thank you. I had to take out that thing. But what I was saying is, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without no knowledge to step two. Step two. Guess who's back? Brother Ron, tell a friend. We All Be Live is back. Thank you. I'm loud and clear. I guess I've been blessed with an interesting voice. So yeah, it happens. But while I was telling y'all that this month is Black Music Month, and a lot of us don't understand, as I said, like Black history is stranger than science fiction, and it's better than a Hollywood movie. Case in point, the Washington Capitals recently won the Stanley Cup, the highest honor in hockey. What people don't understand is that hockey was invented by Black people. Black ice. Black folks invented hockey. I can't make this shit up. Take a look. It's all online. It's a book I think called Black Ice. Baba Dick Gregory told me about this back in 2012. Black folks invented hockey. I can't make this up. Just like Black folks invented Labor Day. Not Labor Day. We invented Labor Day. Free Labor Day. Slavery. That's slavery. So, but we came up with Memorial Day. Black folks invented Memorial Day. Black folks invented hockey. And I'm sure, since it was the Washington Capitals that won, that they have no excuse for not to visit Donald Trump's White House. Yeah. The devil is busy right now. We're going to talk about this spirit of suicide that's going on right now in the world today. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. And I'm going to talk about this. There's so much to talk about. But I've been in YouTube jail. They jailed me over some stuff that I didn't even do. Some 5-year-old Dick Gregory video about Sandy Hook that excommunicated me from the platform for about 90 days. It's kind of weird. You're trying to get me for what a dead man said 5 years ago? That's how you're going to stop me? That's how we're going to do this? It's interesting living in these times right now. These are very fascinating times that we're living in. And I just want everybody, like I said, this is going to be a great segment that we're going to do. A lot of times the best learning comes through repetition. Till you get the lesson, we're going to keep on repeating it. Because we all be in it to win it. I've been taught by the best. And also I've been thinking about it. I've been taught wrong growing up, but I know better. It's time to do better and produce greater things. So this is what the We All Be movement is about. It's about investing in the village. It's about being your brother and sister keeper. It's about understanding that knowledge is the currency of the universe. That information is power. Like Baba Dick Gregory said, good information is good power. Bad information is bad power, but power is power. And like Frederick Douglass said so many generations ago, power concedes nothing without a demand. So I'm going to let you know what you need to demand right now from power to get you to get you the piece of the pie. Get you a piece of that pie. So what did I just say? I said that hockey was invented by Black people. That Memorial Day was created by Black people. That Black people, Black history is stranger than science fiction and better than a Hollywood movie. And that the month of June is Black Music Month. It's the second Black History Month of the year. It is National Black Music Month. Music. A lot of y'all don't know that. That is Music Month. And man, I wanted to remind you all, if you got children out there, if you are an educator, knowledge of self does not come from the school. Knowledge of self does not come from school. Knowledge of self is taught in the home. If your parents, if your people don't know who they are and where they come from, they can't instill that sense of worth and self in the children. If your children do not help people in the home, let them understand who they are, where they come from, then they are creating a foundation for a poor life experience. Because you're not going to learn that at the school. The school is created by the system. The school is not necessarily what you think of as a school. It's a place of indoctrination for the system of low expectations for your children. So, Brother Malcolm X said so many years ago that only a fool will allow their enemies to be the primary educators of their children. Once again, Brother Malcolm said only a fool will let their enemies be the primary educator of their children. Lies come for sure. Yeah. We all be black. Yes, black and proud. Yes, indeed. This is Black Music Month. Like I said, I've been traveling the countrysides and the country, going to hole in the walls and luxurious places. Actually, I'm homeless. I am actually homeless. I've been homeless since the end of January. Yes, I'm in a space, but this is like a temporary place. We're all really temporary visitors to this place called Earth, but I really am homeless. I've been on the road, or maybe the road is my home. And something came to me. I said, you know what, Brother Ron? You can be more engaged in social media. Because people like entertainment now. People like bread and circuses. But maybe I could give them some wheat bread and some organic meat for their bread and circuses, and give them something that could be entertaining and entertaining. Because I've been on the road, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. And so I've been meeting a lot of interesting people and a lot of interesting places. And I recently just came from Atlanta. The ATL is always a great visit to go to see my cousins and shoppers. They are a true, wonderful, real-life Huxtable family. Knock on wood. They are very much black love, black power, black is beautiful family. I love them so much. But what a lot of people don't know, unless you into the Illuminati conspiracy theory stuff, is that there is a place called the Georgia Guidestones. This is like maybe 86 to 90 miles north of Atlanta in Georgia. The Georgia Guidestones are considered by many to be America's Stonehenge. It's like a bunch of stones in a circle that was placed there back in, it's the middle of a cow pasture, in the middle of nowhere. You got cows grazing, got a security camera across the street to make sure nobody vandalized the property. But it was like some type of weird, mysterious group contracted a local construction company to put up these stones, these humongous stones in a circle. It premiered March 22nd, 1980. It got, it's like the 10 Commandments of the New World Order. That's what I call it the 10 Commandments, so to speak, of the New World Order. Basically, you got this message that is communicated through several different languages, like Arabic, Chinese, Swahili, stuff like that, as well as English. And basically what it's saying is that I guess the world population is going to be shrunk or go down to 500 million people. And it gives you like, I guess, a guide to how to live in the world with just 500 million people. Right now they're saying that there's 7 billion people in the world, but this stone is predicting a future. It's predicting a future where there's only 500 million people in the world, down from 7 billion for whatever reason. And it gives you a guide to live by. So if you are ever in the ATL area in Georgia, I would suggest that everybody go visit the Georgia Guidestones, which is America's Stonehenge. You could Google this stuff up. I know it's a YouTuber guy, Mark Dice, that talks about this Illuminati conspiracy theory out there. But when I went there, I didn't pick up no strange vibes. For me, it wasn't strange. It was interesting. I didn't feel spooked out or spooky or none of that. I actually met a woman named Nikki who is from England, and she, took pictures for me of me posing before the Guidestones with my trumpet. And she was actually from, I believe, England, and she was traveling cross country in a sports car. She started from San Francisco, driving across the country on her way to New York City, just stopping for the sights and stuff like that. So it was interesting meeting this lady. We had a interesting conversation, and she took pictures with me. So I thought that was fascinating. But there's people that live not that far away from the Georgia Guidestones have no idea that this thing has been there since March 22nd, 1980. Okay, New World Order is real. You talking about June 21, John Williams? That what happens when you are a freedom fighter. I didn't realize since the night. I had my cousin Andrea. She calls me Freedom Rider. I had no idea what the hell I was getting into. I really didn't. If I knew the stuff that I was going to be able to get into or got into since I started this journey, I don't know if I would have took the journey. It's like if Al Capone knew the trouble he was going to get into when he went to Chicago, he probably would have stayed in New York City to face the murder rap. You just don't know what a life is like, a box of chocolates. I feel like Forrest Gump with a brain, at least half a brain. You know what I'm saying? I've been lucky or had the misfortune or had the luck of getting into these interesting situations and meeting these extraordinary people along the way. So I've been very blessed, and I'm glad I can share this with you all out there. But if y'all can do me a favor, please feel free to support this movement. I need soldiers. You don't have to be on the front lines to be a supporter or a soldier. We need all hands on deck in terms of human activity to get this information out there. And I definitely, I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. And I'm definitely looking for help. Because it's interesting. I'm blessed. Thank you. I received the positive waves. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Harris. I appreciate that. It's been a fascinating journey, man. But it's so much happened. I've been gone for so long. But if you go to my We All Be TV channel, you got a lot of stuff to look at in terms of videos that I uploaded over the last several months. Of course, Judge Joe Brown is a mainstay of the We All Be staple, but also some other unique interviews that I'm going to make available very soon. You can check out the things I did. Like, I said it's Black Music Month. I did some tributes to the late, great Johnny Ace. I found his final mortal resting place in New Park Cemetery in Memphis. Memphis is a very fascinating, magical place. Because you have a lot of music greats buried at that cemetery. It's a very fascinating cemetery. You got people like Dr. William H. Brewster, who wrote Move On Up a Little Higher. Move on up a little higher. He was Elvis Presley's favorite minister. He was a black man, prolific gospel composer who was the preacher at East Trigg Avenue Baptist Church in South Memphis. When Elvis was living in Memphis, that was his favorite minister. He used to go visit Dr. Brewster at East Trigg Avenue Church and participate in the gospel singing there on Sundays. He used to go there on Sunday nights and listen to the gospel music of Dr. William Brewster, a black man who's also buried in New Park Cemetery. Booker Little, one of the all-time jazz trumpet greats, like in the same league as Clifford Brown and Fats Navarro and them type of cats. Lee Morgan, and he died young at the age of 23. He's buried in New Park Cemetery, along with some members of Otis Redding's, the airplane crashes that killed Otis Redding. They're buried there. The original Barcades, members of the original Barcade. Even the survivor, Ben Colley Jr., he was on the same plane as Otis Redding, and he was the only survivor of the plane crash that killed Otis Redding. And he couldn't even swim, and he lived to be an old man. He died in 2015. He's also buried over the New Park Cemetery. So there's a lot of luminaries buried there. But I wanted to pay my respects to Johnny Ace because he died. He was born June 9th, 1929 in Memphis. Johnny Ace is interesting because, like I tell people all the time, the Bill Streeters, he started with the Bill Streeters. He's considered the first rock and roll star by different sources. He was one of the most popular black male R&B rhythm blues singers in the country back in the early 50s for at least 2 years. And he is interesting to me because he was a member of the Bill Streeters. They're like the Golden State Warriors of the blues, because you had B.B. King, you had Bobby Blue Bland, you had Junior Parker, Roscoe Gordon, Earl Forrest, and Johnny Ace. You had all that type of talent in one group. I remember I joked with Bobby Blue Bland before he passed away, a year before he passed away. We was at an event, and I said, you know what? I talked about Johnny Ace with him, and his eyes just lit up about Johnny Ace. He said he was a fine singer. And I said, y'all like the Wu-Tang Clan of blues. He looked at me crazy, like sideways. I said, no, I mean the Wu-Tang Clan was the Bill Streeters of hip hop. And then he started smiling. He took a picture with me. Well, people don't understand that Johnny Ace big break came because Bobby Blue Bland could not read, not just read music, could not read at all. He was functionally illiterate. And so Johnny Ace was tapped, hey man, you want to sing this song called My Song? And that opened the door. The rest is history. But he died real young. Just go look at my YouTube channel for stuff on Johnny Ace. He died Christmas night, 1954. Allegedly, he was playing around with his gun backstage doing a Christmas concert in Houston, Texas at the City Auditorium. And the story goes that he pointed the gun at him, thinking that the gun was empty, and it went off and it killed him. He was only 25 years old. But his biggest hit came posthumously called Pledge of My Love. You can hear that song in the Stephen King horror movie with the car. Christine is also playing in the last scene of Harvey Keitel's movie, The Bad Lieutenant. And it was Elvis Presley's last recorded song, Pledge of My Love. So it's interesting to compare Elvis with Johnny Ace. They both from Memphis. One was a black guy who sounded like a white man when he was singing. The other was a white man who sounded like a black man he was singing. And they both, sung Pledge of My Love. So I ain't going to get too deep into that. I could go to all types of different areas and stuff like that. That's how my mind works. So it's like I'm rambling. I am rambling, but there's so much to talk about. And let's talk about, I'm going to switch it up. But yeah, definitely, like I said earlier, check out the Georgia Guidestones, America Stonehenge. Look it up on YouTube or whatever online. I'll also probably do my own commentary on that as well. But I've been so far behind because I have so much to do. And I'm just glad that I can talk to you right now. I'm out of YouTube jail. Yay. Brother run out of YouTube jail. So what do we need to talk about? There's so much. But support the movement. I mean, buy artwork. Buy shirts with my art on it. Donate. You can donate. Super chat it. You can PayPal it. Give it to me direct. Thank you, Terrence Bennett. You smart. Holler at you later. Yeah, y'all can holler at me when y'all want to holler at me. I'm very accessible. I'm always good on the phone call. I get so many phone calls, I don't return them. But does not mean that I do not love my people. I just got a lot going on. Like I said, I've been homeless, or maybe the road is my home. Been like this since January of 2018, at the end of January 2018. I just gave up my apartment and hit the road and started visiting people. Thank you for sharing my video, Sister Harris. Yes, our music history is very beautiful. It's a very beautiful story. What was the black man's name that Stevie Wonder gave the Grammy to that wrote the song for Elvis Presley? It was, it's a guy named Otis Blackwell. I believe you're talking about Otis Blackwell, this black man from Nashville. He wrote a lot of songs that Elvis made famous. Otis Blackwell. And that gets me to another point. I was down in Montgomery, Alabama, and I visited the grave of Rufus Payne. A lot of us don't know who that is, but Rufus Payne was the master teacher for Hank Williams Sr., the king of country music. I always tell people behind every great white man is a black man that he stole from. And I say that stolen, where they were taught, they stole, taught, same thing. But this black man named Rufus Payne taught the king of country music how to sing and play guitar, how to write the music, how to sing the music, how to play the guitar. Hank Williams Sr. learned from this guy. His mama actually hired Rufus Payne. They call him T-Tot. He was born in the 1880s in Lowndes County, Alabama. That's the same Lowndes County that produced the Black Panther Party. Not the one in Oakland, but the one with Stokely Carmichael when he took on the White Roosters down there. Y'all don't know y'all history. Y'all better look it up. Take a look. It's all online. But Rufus Payne was a music master from Lowndes County, Alabama. He went down to New Orleans. He could master every instrument. He was a master of every instrument. You play piano, saxophone, trumpet, all this stuff. But he was hired by Hank Williams Sr.'s mom to teach her son how to play guitar, how to sing, and how to write music. They called him T-Tot. And it was a joke because he used to drink alcohol with tea. T-Tot means teetotaler. And a teetotaler was a person who didn't drink, who didn't indulge in alcohol. But they just called him that as a nickname. He was a street musician. But Hank Williams Sr. only lived to be 29 years old, but he's considered the king of country music. And he said during his lifetime that Rufus Payne was his only teacher. That he learned from this black man how to play blues, jazz, gospel, country, all that stuff. So he gave a lot of credit to Rufus Payne. And so Hank Williams Jr. and the Grand Ole Opry put a monument in honor of Rufus Payne in the cemetery, Lincoln Cemetery in Montgomery, Alabama is where he's buried at. He died during the Great Depression, I want to say by maybe 1939. So he's buried in an unmarked grave, but decades later, the Grand Ole Opry and Hank Williams Jr. dedicated a monument outside the gates of Lincoln Cemetery in honor of Rufus Payne. You see, country music is really black people music. All American music is black music. It has its roots in black music, whether it be minstrel songs, jazz, ragtime, so-called classical, so-called rap. You know, the most popular music right now is rap, so-called hip-hop. American music is really black music. All the roots leads back to Africa. All leads back to black people, melanated indigenous folk. So never forget that. But I just told you about Rufus Payne. Look him up. Hank Williams Jr. performed this song called a T-Tot song, where he is thanking T-Tot, Rufus Payne, for teaching his father how to do the country music and all that music stuff. And he basically tell you in that song that the world owes a debt to Rufus Payne, because without Rufus Payne, there'll be no Hank Williams Sr., there will be no country music. So I just told y'all something I didn't probably know. Like Sam Phillips, the founder of Sun Records, the first to record Elvis Presley. He's from the same town in Alabama as W.C. Handy. He said it was a blind black man that taught him how to listen to sounds. It was a blind black man that sat with him in nature and told him how to listen to the sounds. So he had a great appreciation for music because he learned how to appreciate music through nature by a black man. Teach him how to listen and distinguish sounds. When he started Sun Records, Sam Phillips wanted to bring black artists to mainstream white America. He wasn't thinking about Elvis. The first artists to record at Sun Records were black musicians like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Howlin' Wolf. Ike Turner was a talent scout for Sun Records. People think of Ike Turner as being somebody that beat up Aretha Franklin. No, Ike Turner was a music genius and rock god. He was a rock and roll star. Ike Turner probably wrote and performed the first rock and roll song in history called Rocket 88, which was about an Oldsmobile car. This is before my Adidas. See, black folks are always selling shit through the music. Because we be charming, man. We persuaders, man. But Ike Turner was from Clarksdale, Mississippi. And Clarksdale, Mississippi is deep in the music, man. It's like only maybe a town of 18,000 people. Produced people like Ike Turner, Sam Cooke, John Lee Hooker. Smoke weed every day. Nate Dogg is from Clarksdale. He used to sing in a family gospel group down in Clarksdale before he went to the LBC out in the West Coast. So Rick Ross is from Clarksdale, Mississippi. Not Ricky Freeway Ross, but Ricky Rose, Maybach Music. He's from Clarksdale. He's not from Miami. He was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. So I'm telling you all this stuff. I can name a lot of people from Clarksdale. There's a town that's just 90 minutes away from Memphis down in the Mississippi Delta. This part of the country is so fertile with music genius and talent. It's like I tell you about Alabama. I just tell you about Rufus Payne, the father really of country music, you know, because he gave us Hank Williams Sr. But you go to places like Montgomery and Birmingham, you go to places in Mississippi, and just see, white folks told y'all a lie. They want y'all to still be afraid to go below the Mason-Dixon line. Because the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of beautiful places and people in places like the Mississippi Delta, in places like Alabama and Georgia. A lot of richness there. This country would not be the same without places like this. A lot of music geniuses come out this part of the country. Mississippi has produced more Grammy Award winners than any state in the country. That's Mississippi. Backyard Mississippi. That's Mississippi. You know, we think about Mississippi, I think about Bourdain, Mississippi. Got the anniversary of the Freedom Summer coming up. Got the anniversary of the killing and lynching and kidnapping of Swerner, Goodman, and Cheney. Y'all still think of Mississippi about Mississippi Burning, that movie from 1988. You got places like that all around the country. You got sundown towns still all around the country. The St. Louis Blues, W.C. Handy song, I hate to see when that sun goes down. Talking about sundown town. You still got that in different parts of America. You got places where white folks never seen a black person in the flesh. Places like that still exist. This is America. Like Childish Gambino said, this is America. This is America. This is America. But I could go on, man. Like I said, somebody asked me, what is your opinion on the reference of black people being referred to African American? Well, Africa is the cradle of civilization. It's the cradle of humanity. Black folks were already over here. There was some black people. I know it's hard. See, like you had slavery, then you had black folks already here too, because we the original people. All indigenous and aboriginal people are dark-skinned people. Black folks was already here. It's like they're saying that Romans was already here. You had Vikings, Romans, Chinese. You had all type of people come over to the Americas, but you had black people here. Black folks everywhere. We the original people. You know? And slavery happened. And slavery happened. And slavery happened in every civilization. Every civilization had slavery. Every civilization had a form of slavery. But what I'm saying, black folks, dark people have always been around. Everything come out of us. Okay? And you still got sundown towns. Yes, of course you do. But yeah, I think, it's funny that a lot of black folks are moving back home to the South. I went to South Carolina recently in the last couple of years, met a couple from Brooklyn. They're from Brooklyn. And they came back down south to live in Charleston, South Carolina. And the thing about it is your money go farther down south than any place in the country. Out west is too damn high. It's too damn high to visit Cali, let alone stay there. A large percentage of the homeless population in L.A. are black people, black men in particular. So it's expensive as hell to be out in Cali. But a lot of them folks, a generation or two removed from the plantation down in Mississippi. A lot of them folks, black folks out in L.A., they folks come out of places like, Alabama and Arkansas and Texas and Louisiana. They come from back south. Snoop Dogg folks are from Mississippi. Suge Knight people from Mississippi. I said, Nate Dogg smoke weed every day. He's from Mississippi directly. He moved out to Cali. So everybody coming back home down south, think about Mississippi. Mississippi could be Wakanda. Y'all laugh at that. A lot of y'all laugh at that. Don't you know if the white folks never had that white terrorism campaign down in Mississippi, if they never had that Jim Crow thing going down in Mississippi, then Mississippi would have had about several black governors by now. Mississippi got a large black population. But what hurt Mississippi black population was so many people leaving during the Great Migration because of racial terrorism. We would have been had some black governors and senators post-Reconstruction in Mississippi. Mississippi is a land of extremes. Like we just observed as a nation the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Robert Kennedy. Before he died, I didn't know until recently that Medgar Evers' brother, Charles Evers, was in Mississippi. I didn't know that. I mean, not Medgar Evers' brother, but Medgar Evers' brother, Charles Evers, was in L.A. He's a Republican, but he was a supporter of Robert Kennedy. He was there that night at the Ambassador Hotel when Robert Kennedy was assassinated by the government. Yeah, I said I didn't fucking slip. I didn't say Sirhan. I said the American government assassinated Robert Kennedy. Thank you so much, Brother Sean Henry. We love you madly. Y'all do the donations. I ain't talking about donations. We need donations. But Robert Kennedy was shown around the Mississippi Delta and cried like a baby. He didn't know that it was Americans, so-called Americans, that lived so poor. He went to black people homes in Mississippi Delta. They didn't have no floors. Their floor in their house was dirt. Kids with no pants and shoes. This man came out of a wealthy Boston family. His father was a wealthy power broker. He didn't know that this type of poverty at a third world level existed in the United States of America. So it was Charles Evers and other people that showed him around the Mississippi Delta to show him how poor people were living. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a land of extremes. Mississippi is a land of extremes, extreme wealth and extreme poverty, but it's really it's really represents, it's a microcosm of America. You know, it's a microcosm of America. Thank you, Brother Sean, for receiving the hard work. Thank you for investing back. Yes, Brother Everett, I'm back live. They've been trying hard to get me out. But, yeah, I mean, so much to talk about. Yeah, the sister. Oh, thank you. Stacey Abrams. Yeah, her folks from Mississippi. I'm telling y'all, man, people shit on Mississippi. But you know how many brilliant, genius level people that have came out of Mississippi at all areas of human activity? You got some brilliant people that came out this state. Some of the best athletes have came out of Mississippi. Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, they from Mississippi. Steve McNair, Mississippi. Oprah's from Mississippi. Bob Johnson, the founder of BET, from Mississippi. Fred Smith, the founder of FedEx, from Mississippi. William Faulkner, world-class literary genius. I mean, black and white side. You got so many brilliant people that come out this state, and people shit on Mississippi. It's considered one of the poorest states in the country. You know, but it is what it is. You got to know their history. Like I told you, so many brilliant music geniuses. They won more Grammys in Mississippi than any place in the country. More Grammy winners come out of Mississippi. But the sister Stacey Abrams, who's running for governor in Georgia. Now, I don't know her personally. I don't really have to embed against the sister. But I realized she wrote an article, I believe, in Fortune or Forbes magazine about being $200,000 in debt. And my thing is this. I got this thing for me that if you broke, you should be running for office. If you are broke, you should not be running for office. Because what I mean by that, I'm not saying that you have a right to do what you want to do but for me, you should be well funded when you run for office. You shouldn't use your own money to run for office. But at the same time, somebody sent her in a way, because how can she get that far if she's personally in debt like that? That means she is indebted to somebody or to somebodies to do certain things. It's like with Obama, the Obama deception. Like, we're looking for this black messiah through politics. It's not going to work for black people. We never had a true black messiah that really did the part of the people. And but we had some great politicians. We had a few of them. But what I'm trying to say, how can I say this? How can I say what I'm saying? We need to go back. If you are a Malcolm X fan, if y'all are a true Malcolm X fan, listen to his message to a grassroots speech in full. Listen to it in full. He's telling y'all the blueprint of how they control black folks politically in this country. How they pick your leadership for you. They fund your leadership for you. Like this Black Lives Matter Trojan horse. Now, I'm not saying there weren't sincere people or aren't sincere, well-meaning black folks in the Black Lives Matter movement, but there's a tale of two Black Lives Matters, right? You have the George Soros funded Black Lives Matter, where he put $40 million to Ferguson about 4 years ago. Then you have the grassroots Black Lives Matter, where people like Darren D. Seals, King Seals out of Ferguson, gets murdered, gets lynched, gets assassinated, and get burned up in a car. You have several people from Ferguson who were activist-minded folks, who were strong black hetero males, get done the same way, and nobody gives a damn. Nobody investigates what happened to these guys. You know what I'm saying? But these cats, they were in the streets organizing for justice, and they found out it was just us. Then you got folks that are in the suites. They're not in the streets, but they in the suites. And they, blogging and all that, and they getting all types of checks that don't bounce. But you got a lot of folks in the streets that are soldiers who not getting the recognition, they not getting the support that they deserve. So you got to tell two Black Lives Matter, and y'all should look it up. They already exposed this, but we too busy trying to watch basketball and football and reality TV shows to really pay attention to what they put in our food and our water and in our brains. So getting back to Stacey Abrams, I'm not going to knock the sister and attack her personally, but you got to question, how was she able to rise so quick and she's all in debt? You know what I'm saying? Who sent her? Why is she used at this time to galvanize the black vote? You know, these people, they plan 20, 30 years ahead. You know, we just now finding out shit that they had implemented 20, 30 years ago. So ain't no telling why. You know, you got 2020 coming up. That's the 100-year anniversary of the women's rights to vote. They got women right to vote here in this country back in 1920. Like Dick Gregory told you, the white man so evil and vicious, he didn't even want to give his own mama to vote. Okay, he hated his women. That's the nature of a white man. So he hated his women. Very misogynistic, hates his women. We ain't given the right to vote until 1920. Seen them nothing as property. So Stacey Abrams, she's like a Democratic Trojan horse to me. Because I don't know, name me one time that black folks' problems have been solved by any political figure. And also, she got to answer to the folks who put her in that office. Like, you know, people don't understand when Barack Obama ran in 2008, his biggest campaign contributor was not people donated $5, $10, or $20 online. He did not have to answer the folks out there in the public who donated $5 and $10 and $20 to his campaign. He had to answer to Goldman Sachs, though. Goldman Sachs was Obama's biggest campaign contributor. If you even go back to 1999, to the Clinton administration, to the 1990, 2000 part of the Clinton administration, the Clinton administration, i.e. the Democrats, sold out organized labor for Goldman Sachs. Once again, let me repeat. The Clinton administration basically did a Faustian deal where they got rid of organized labor. They signed a NAFTA trade agreement, the North Atlantic Trade Freedom thing, whatever. They signed that agreement and got rid of organized labor movement, and they brought in the banksters. They repealed the Glass-Steagall Act, which led to the 2008 economic collapse. But yet y'all want to blame Bush. This stuff has already been set in motion. See, you know, people don't understand. The biggest, really, social justice movement was not the 60s, was the 30s. The 1930s were more of a threat to the American republic or corporation than the 1960s were. The reason why I said it is this country was in the Great Depression. It was facing an economic and infrastructure collapse. They're just now releasing footage of white people out in the streets. Not black people. You were white people out in the streets fighting with the police on horseback because the banks closed with their savings inside. This is 1930s. The GI Bill did not happen because of World War II. The GI Bill happened because of the bonus army. Look up the bonus army. These were World War I veterans who were campaigning for reparations and for benefits that were owed to them by the U.S. government. World War I ended in 1919. And you talking about 1930s, this is like a decade and some change later. They still didn't get the benefits that were promised and owed to them by the American government. So they set up a tent city in Washington, D.C. And then you had the American government had their own form of Gestapo. You had a military unit or brigade or whatever you want to call it, led by MacArthur. Yes, that Douglas MacArthur. He had his goons along with him, General Patton, the tank general, and Eisenhower, leader of the Allied forces and future president of the United States. They were his side goons, and they basically beat up, killed, tortured, whatever, maimed their own fellow military people, their own fellow veterans. Even the guy who saved General Patton's life in World War I, he was at the tent city. He couldn't believe that his buddy would do this to them. He saved his life in World War I. You can look all this stuff up. I can't make this up. General Smedley Butler, the most decorated Marine in U.S. history. They call him the Fighting Quaker. He was from Pennsylvania. I don't know, it's Philadelphia. But he said war is a racket, war is hell. Check out the stuff he wrote about his experiences in war and in the military and what it was really about. He went before the American public through the press and through Congress, and he told them back in the 1930s that some powerful people, some elites, which y'all call the Illuminati and the banksters, Wall Street folk. I think I'm back on. Wall Street folks went to him to overthrow the government. They say, look, we're going to get rid of FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, and we want to make you president, and we're going to overthrow the government. And instead of him going along as a good soldier, he snitched on everybody that was involved. And I don't know if they believe him or not, but he wrote about it because he said he used to think he was a U.S. patriot. Because you got to understand, Smedley Butler was the most decorated U.S. Marine in history. He won 2 Congressional Medal of Honors. Normally, a lot of times when a person wins a Medal of Honor in the military, they're dead. It's posthumous. But he won 2. One for the Spanish-American War, one for the Boxer Rebellion in China. He won 2. And he thought he was an American patriot protecting the freedoms of the country, of his fellow Americans. But he said that he was worse than Al Capone. Because unlike Al Capone, where Al Capone only operated in Chicago, he operated on different continents, creating banana republics for multinational corporations. That's Smedley Butler. He died in 1940. But y'all should check his stuff out. It's all online. So the Clintons, like the 30s are interesting. I talked about Huey Long. I talked about Huey Long before, the U.S. Senator from Louisiana, former governor of Louisiana, who took on big oil in Louisiana to help finance education for poor people and literacy programs and to build bridges to connect the parishes down in Louisiana. He's Huey Newton, who's from Louisiana, is named after Huey Long, a white man, because he started adult literacy programs that taught blacks and whites how to read. See, Huey Long was not pulling the race card like a Lee Atwater or George Wallace. He didn't believe in that type of Southern strategy. He wanted to make sure that everybody in this country, regardless of color, had a living wage. That everybody had, every man a king. He had the Share the Wealth program, which had like 12 million members nationwide. He was getting 60,000 letters a week in Congress, more than any other politician. He was going to take on Roosevelt for the presidential nomination in 1936, but he was assassinated. He questioned the legitimacy of the Federal Reserve, which is not a Federal Reserve, which is not federal. It's only Federal Reserve in name. You understand? Woodrow Wilson made a deal in order to become president that he promised the banksters who came up with the idea of the Federal Reserve that he would make it real by passing a law if they help him to win the election of 1912. So they used Teddy Roosevelt to split the Republican vote, because had not Teddy Roosevelt came out of retirement, William Howard Taft would have won a second term. William Howard Taft was very popular. He was once Teddy Roosevelt's vice president, but he was not going to approve anything to make the Federal Reserve into a real thing. He ended up becoming a U.S. Supreme Court justice after he became president. And it was him that, Huey Long practiced, he practiced law in Louisiana. He had some cases he tried before the Supreme Court. And William Howard Taft, as Supreme Court justice, the former president, was highly impressed with the intelligence and the articulation of Huey Long. He was very impressed with Huey Long. But Huey Long was he was no company man. He was a rebel rouser. He was a revolutionary. And that's why you don't hear about him. He was assassinated at the state capitol in Louisiana. Really, he was shot. He could have survived, but the doctors, they made sure he didn't survive the operation. A la Dr. King in 1968. Well, we know now. Take a look. It's all online. That's right. That's why you don't hear about Huey Long in your so-called enemies history books, because anytime a person really is for the people, they make them like they're a monster. You notice that? Anytime somebody who's for the people, who's trying to do right by the people, they're a monster. They're evil. But the people that do the most damage, y'all love. They program y'all to love them. God bless him. God bless her. They eat your young and spit out their bones. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people believing that the military protects your freedom of speech. Name me a fucking military in history that ever protected anybody's freedom of speech. Name a military. People say, well, the military, having connectivity issues. I don't know if I'm back home. I'm having all types of crazy issues. Yeah, John Brown, he's evil. Everybody who try to fight a wicked system is always evil. funny shit. Anybody that stood up against tyranny, they're like, oh man, you're evil, man. It's the law to enslave people. So you know slavery is law of the land? Y'all believe just because something in law, that means that's morally right. Just because something in law does not make it morally right. Slavery was not morally right? But it was law of the land, right? Because everybody benefited from slavery. Not just the cotton plantation down south, but New York City benefited from slavery. The whole country benefited from slavery. Could not have manifest destiny without slavery. Stop letting these folks fool you like it was the South was the only part of the country that benefited from slavery. If the South was the only part of the country that benefited from slavery, slavery would not have went on so long. That form of slavery. Now we got private prisons. If the whole country was not benefited from private prisons, it would not go on that long. And I mean the whole country. I'm not meaning the people in the country, the so-called, average citizen. I'm talking about the elites. I'm talking about the people that actually run this thing, that run this illusion called democracy. It's really a corporation that's a republic that's really still controlled by the crown. But you know that the Civil War was another war financed by the British? This is after the so-called Revolutionary War, the war for 1812. The British financed the South. The British financed the South. Don't you know? My God. I don't know if things freezing. I'm just talking on my Yahoo. Thank you for joining us, Random Thoughts and Views. So happy that we get to watch this live and hear me live together. But Teddy Roosevelt had uncles who were Confederate sympathizers, right? They worked for the Confederacy. Teddy Roosevelt was a Republican. Folks were Lincoln Republicans. But his uncles worked for the South and then went over to England after the war. You have Judah P. Benjamin, who was the vice president of the Confederacy, who was a Jew. He was Jewish. And he married an Attn. His wife was an Attn, mulatto, whatever the hell you call them, down in New Orleans. He went over to England after the war. So let you know what time it is. These cats sought refuge in England because the British helped finance the Civil War for the South. Because they benefited from the cotton. Thank you. I'm glad y'all hear me. Good. Cause I know sometimes it could be choppy. This technology is something else. That's why I like to record myself. Sometimes it could be choppy. America's still in bed with the crown. You understand? Think about, you talking about Meghan Markle or Merkel, whatever, Urkel, whatever her name. They're talking about, she's a black princess. She's not even a princess. She's something else. But the Queen of England at the time of the American Revolution was an Attn, was a mulatto named Queen Charlotte from the House of Mecklenburg, a very powerful European royal household. And think about Charlotte, North Carolina. It's named after her, Queen Charlotte, and it's in Mecklenburg County. Named after the House of Mecklenburg. You think about the father of Russian literature, Alexander Pushkin. His great-grandfather, Gennady Petrovich, was a gift to Peter the Great. He was adopted basically by Peter the Great. He helped reorganize and train the Russian Imperial Army. His great-grandfather, Alexander Pushkin. He's a member of the European royal family. He talks about his African heritage. He died in a gun duel, just like Alexander Hamilton, who was also black. But they don't tell you that. Y'all think about that Hamilton. See how they do that? Hamilton played, mess up y'all minds. Mess y'all minds of not realizing that Alexander Hamilton like Tupac. He died in a gun duel too. But I'm saying Alexander Pushkin, the father of Russian literature, was a proud black Russian. They got y'all thinking that there was no such thing as a black Russian outside the drink. The father of their tongue, of their literary tradition, proud black man. Alexander Pushkin. Look it up. Take a look. It's all online. So, getting back to all this stuff. Whoa. What the hell? I went out to the thing. Woo. I at one point talking about Stacey Abrams. To me, Stacey Abrams, whoever, signed those checks to get her elected, those are the people she got to answer to. And just because she's governor don't mean she could do a lot for the people. She got to answer to a system of check and balances. Herein lies the problem with so-called trying to do this political thing for black folk. You know what I'm saying? You had some great black politicians that did some things for the people. Look at Marion Barry. Marion Barry is a great example. I could never get tired of talking about Marion Barry. What he did for black folks in D.C. in the DMV area, actually. He created a black business class, a black middle class. By the things he did, made sure that black folks got jobs in government, made sure that the government contracted with black folks for business, started summer job programs for young people able them to save money and go to college, be the first in their family to graduate from college. He did a lot of things for black people. He died broke because he was a real public servant. I think that no black person have no business getting involved in politics if you're trying to make money. That's the whole point. You should get involved in politics to serve the people. Because if you get involved in trying to make some money in politics, then your ass gonna get set up by the feds. The feds is watching. The feds is watching. West Side. The feds is watching. Okay? So you want to get in politics, you should get in politics to try to really benefit the people. Not necessarily to benefit your pockets, because they're gonna get you locked up. They're gonna be watching. They're gonna set you up. But nothing wrong with making money. I'm not against making money. I'm just saying, if you're a broke motherfucker and you taking money underneath the table at Waffle House, those the feds, my nigga. Cause we had a thing up here called the Tennessee Waltz. They're getting niggas for stupid shit. Taking money under the table at Denny's and shit. You can't do that, my nigga, at a high level. You can't be the bag man and the man. You can't be the bag man and the fucking man. You got the game fucked up, son. So I wish her well. She's both her parents are ministers. Very well respected ministers. Her sister is a federal judge. She comes from a family of 6 siblings, including herself. So it looked very good on paper. I believe she's single. She's not married. So that's interesting. And, we down south, people still want their politicians to be married. People got this thing about, politicians being married and having children and shit like that. Especially down south. They got their little things. Yeah, you talking about Jesse Jackson Jr. That's no one. He got caught up in the system. And his daddy was a prominent man. He want to get, you trying to Michael Jackson memorabilia and shit? I don't know. Him and his wife got caught up in that mess. But you look at somebody like, for example, Reverend Adam Clayton Powell Jr. He was a great man. He was a great man. We do our people such an injustice. The people who really serve us, who really do right by us, we forget about their ass. We don't appreciate them. We let the white man tell them, oh, he's the devil. He's a philanderer. He's corrupt. He loves pussy too much. Well, preacher don't love pussy, okay? He's a preacher. And he was honest. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. could drink with the best of them, could play pool with the best of them, could probably fuck with the best of them. But at the end of the day, he was doing his God work. He did right by his constituents. He did right by the people. I'm not going to tell you all the things that Adam Clayton Powell Jr. did for people. Why don't y'all look that up? Because we don't honor our people that do right by us. We forget about them. We just leave them. Then the white man say something bad about them. We believe that's true too. But they just being human. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is how y'all got to live now. Treat your leaders like the mailman. Stop following them around. Like, if the mailman come deliver the mail to you, do you go to your mailbox to get the mail that was assigned to you, that was meant for your household, or do you follow the mailman around on his route and then follow him around after you get off of work? Because trust me, you don't want to know what the mailman is doing when he get off of work. You want to know what he's doing on the route. I remember somebody told me a story about a mailman in the neighborhood. He'll go around fucking the women on his route. And one of the females got caught by her husband with the mailman. You know what I'm saying? That's another, it was fascinating. And then when they told me this story, I couldn't believe it was the person who they were talking about. I said, this is the same woman that go to church, that went to church every Sunday and all this stuff. She got caught with the mailman by her man. So I'm saying, if the mailman deliver your mail, just go to the damn mailbox and get what's for you. Stop following him around on his routes. It's like with the leaders. If you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a human, everybody got their advice. So I'm not going to look at you and be, oh man, I don't want to be like you. I just want to respect you. And you respect me. We do business. We get things done. I'm not interested in your religious beliefs or what you believe in. As long as you don't believe in doing me harm and doing my people harm, I'm good with you. But people get caught up. It's like I meet these old timers. The MLK 50 stuff. I'm in Memphis, right? MLK 50 stuff. And niggas talking about these old niggas. Like niggas that probably telling me wisdom and game. These niggas, Dr. King used to like them prostitutes. He used to like threesomes. And I don't give a fuck about that. I'm glad he got some pussy before they blew his fucking face off. How about that? You ungrateful Negroes. Y'all think a nigga ain't supposed to be a saint and a monk. No, nigga, I'm a human. If you were stressed out, if you getting death threats every day for 13 years, threats of somebody firebombing your home, threats of people like you beating black folks, black women, stabbing you in the chest with goddamn metal objects, and people punching you in the face and throwing bricks in your head. Why? He don't deserve no pussy going through all of that. If he's staying up on days on end, chain smoking, checking himself in to the hospital for physical and mental exhaustion, and then dying at 39 with a heart of a 65-year-old man, you mean to tell me he ain't supposed to get no pussy? Going through all this trouble, all those ass whoopings and all those beatings and arrestings, and you niggas still don't give me any credit. You want me to be what you can't be, nigga, and I'm dead. Oh, Louis Myers Jr. Thanks for the tip, brother. I gotta look into that. He said he died a week ago. He was Jesse Jackson's senior attorney. He had offices in Mississippi. It was a cut that died some years ago named Cleve McDowell Jr. I believe that's his name. He's a brilliant Mississippi lawyer. He got killed under questionable circumstances in his home. And he was one of Jesse Jackson Sr.'s campaign managers back in the day when he ran for president back in 84, 88. Cleve McDowell was an interesting guy. And he's like one of the other people that been forgot about. But he was really involved in investigating the Emmett Till case at one point. But they try to put the murder of him on a guy, a young kid, who was supposed to have been his lover or some sort. But look up Cleve McDowell Jr. too. But it doesn't surprise me. Look at Ron Brown, Secretary of Commerce, how he died. A lot of people don't know that Ron Brown used to advertise for Pepsi drink, Pepsi Cola. He was in some of their early advertisements geared towards African Americans when he was a young child. They got some. You probably could find some images of Ron Brown Sr. as a young child pitching Pepsi products. So anyway, let me see. I'll check through the chat. I hope y'all can hear me okay. I hope it's not choppy too much. I just look at the. I don't know what's going on with this technology thing. Will we ever get reparations? Yeah, but are you ready to receive it? That's the question. It's coming. I have no doubt about that. Reparations is coming. The white folks trying to be black too much. That's why I know reparations coming. You got white folks trying to pass for black too much because they know that reparations is about to come. Let's see. Yeah, but feel free, family, if you feel like you've been motivated by the word today, feel free to donate to the cause. Because we all be in it to win it. Super chat it, PayPal it. Doesn't make a difference. Join Brother Sean Henry in the congregation, y'all. Tabernacle choir. Yes. Tabernacle. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Bro, great man, I believe you be right. You said you dropping bombs, so they got to interfere with the signal, Brother Ron. Yeah, they been fucking with me. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. Gap Band, Gatewood, Archer and Pine. Them cats are from Black Wall Street. That song was about Black Wall Street. You dropped the bomb on me. Black Music Month. But anyway, speaking of dropping bombs on, Donald Trump is fascinating. This Donald Trump era is fascinating, y'all. Oh, it's after midnight here. I've been down south. Look. Pay my respects to Medgar Evers. This is the 55th anniversary of his assassination. He was coming home from his headquarters, listening to the JFK speech about race relations. Coming home, got shot before his family in the driveway down in Jackson, Mississippi. Never forget the sacrifice of Medgar Evers, one of our greats. Medgar Evers. May he rest in eternal peace. But I always like to talk about people like him. Medgar Evers was just 37 years old when he was killed. They killed Medgar Evers, who was just 37 years old. Didn't have a good fortune of making it to 40. When I talked to a lot of old timers, they say you're not really a man until you're 40 years old. But we lost our best before they turned 40. We lost Malcolm and Martin at 39. We lost Medgar Evers at 37. So Medgar Evers was good friends with Dick Gregory. And Dick Gregory was going to be down here when they killed Medgar. And probably would have killed him too. But his son, his namesake, died. And Medgar told him that his wife called and told him what happened in Chicago. So he had to drive him back. I think he drove him to Memphis. to catch the plane. And Dick said he knew that that was going to be the last time he saw Medgar alive. He said he came down to Mississippi to die with Medgar. So, yeah, Medgar was one really got Baba Dick Gregory into the movement, you know. And he died at 37. So when you look at Dick Gregory, he lived to be 80-something years old. I mean, that's a blessing. But he lost a lot of his friends before they turned 40. So I don't know what that does to a person to lose friends like that, you know what I'm saying, before they turn 40. Family man. Because he's a family man too, or was a family man. Lose brothers like that, you know. It's fascinating, man. It's really fascinating to think about. But yeah, Medgar Evers died this day 55 years ago. Never forget. Yeah, it's 12:10 a.m. It's 12:10 a.m. Where I'm at too. So here I thank you. I'm glad I'm here to teach my people, to feed my people. Somebody asked me, are you concerned about who learned from you? I said, no, man. Whoever's open to learning, because I'm learning from everybody else. I mean, I think people find this hard to believe. I don't think about white people that much. Most of my day, I don't spend my entire day thinking about white people. I don't be thinking about what they think about what I'm doing. Like, you know, you talk to some black people, you start talking about some black first shit, the first thing that come out their mouth, what would the white people think? Nigga, they ain't thinking about you. If they thought about you, you would have a living wage, you would have reparations, have better schools, you have better neighborhoods. White folks ain't thinking about you, nigga. Why you think about white folks? Think about what you thinking about. You talk about black people, what white people think about? I don't know. Ask a white person. And then, what people don't understand, a lot of people you think is white are not really white. They're not really white. They got white 100 years ago. They're not white, and they about not to be white again. Because the way shit going now, have y'all been looking? Have y'all been watching? Have y'all been observing and participating and seeing what the hell going on right now? You know, I hear what you said, Brother John, about missing Dick Gregory. I can't miss him because, shit, he's everywhere. Every time I look at a movie or documentary, and I'm just looking at some random shit, Dick Gregory name come up, Dick Gregory image, his voice, even in Rachel Dolezal, a documentary on Netflix. I saw that a couple months ago. This lady, she gonna be quoting Dick Gregory on the show, not The View, but the other show what's her name? That Braxton girl we used to be on. Wild them women on there, not The View, but she was quoting Dick Gregory on that. I said, how the hell Rachel Dolezal go check out YouTube videos, We All Be TV and other stuff, and start quoting Dick Gregory? She was saying like something like, Dick Gregory said, why this attitude if you don't have enough money in the bank? Some stuff she was saying in that Rachel Dolezal documentary. I said, yeah, she quoting Dick Gregory too. But I said, Dick Gregory everywhere. I be having people quoting Dick Gregory to me. I be on dates with women, and they start talking and it sound like Dick Gregory. I said, Dick Gregory? You know Dick Gregory? I said, no, who's Dick Gregory? So he gave you a message to give to me? Because that's the way that nigga used to talk to me. You sure you ain't Dick Gregory? You don't know Dick Gregory? I'm saying, the universe work like that, man. It's like, that was another thing. People got to start getting back and not getting that sunken place, but you got to go to a place and start meditating and being by yourself, being okay to be by yourself sometimes and to sit and to really help things come to you. Because it's amazing how the universe would use things to talk to you. People, not just people, but all types of stuff. Like, for example, when I was looking for Johnny Ace's grave the other day in New Park Cemetery, I went to the office. I asked them, could y'all please point me in the direction of Johnny Ace, where he's buried at? And the lady actually took great pride in not knowing shit. I don't know where he's at. You gotta come back on Monday. I said, babe, I can't come back on Monday because today is his birthday. I know he's dead, but Johnny Ace was this guy. She didn't know who Johnny Ace was, even though Johnny Ace was featured on their website. So this cemetery got so many acres of land and thousands and thousands of people buried there since 1915. So what I started doing, I said, fuck it, I'm just going to drive around. Even if it take me hours to find this man's grave, I'm just going to drive around playing his music. So I drove around about maybe 15 minutes in. I stopped, his music was playing my radio. Then something told me, you passed his tombstone. It's on your right. So I stopped my car, looked to my right. I saw something that it looked like the picture of what his tombstone looked like online. Stopped the car, got the car, and there you go. That was his grave. He wanted me to be there to honor him on his birthday. And I was surprised how small that tombstone was. I thought it would be a big thing because this guy was like, he was the most popular singer. Thank you, Brother Great Man. We love you madly. Thank you for joining the choir. I appreciate you too, brother. I will keep it up as long as you people will help me. But it was strange, man. It's like he wanted me, you want to acknowledge me on his birthday. Blessing, Sister Stephanie Gerald. Thanks for joining us. So I played my trumpet. I did like a 20-minute thing there because it's weird to me that a man like they could be so popular. This is Black Music Month. Y'all need to do yourselves a favor. Go listen to Johnny Ace. After you through listening to me, go listen to Johnny Ace because this man was the most requested singer during his era. He only had a 2-year and some change career, but in order to get Johnny Ace as your headliner, you had to have either B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland, or Little Richard as his opening act. Those were his opening acts. All those guys on all the rock and roll music Hall of Fames, Johnny Ace is not in one Hall of Fame, except for my Jimmy Lunsford Legacy Award, Lifetime Achievement that I presented to his daughter, who was only just 2 years old when he passed away. And by the way, Johnny Ace's granddaughter is Legacy, the famous neo-soul singer. Legacy, that's his granddaughter. But how many people know about her grandfather, the late, great Johnny Ace, who came out of Booker T. Washington High School, the same school that produced Maurice White and Marion Barry. Maurice White, the founder of Earth, Wind & Fire, Marion Barry, all went to the same high school, Booker T. Washington High School in South Memphis. Along with Johnny Ace dropping out that mud. But like the mother of gospel music taught at Booker T. Washington for decades, Lucy Campbell. She was a mother of gospel music who taught and mentored Mahalia Jackson and found Dr. King's favorite singer and mentored him. This guy named J. Robert Bradley was Dr. King's favorite singer. He used to sing Precious Lord for Dr. King. And he's from Memphis. So Memphis is one of those magical places. I talked to you about Clarksdale. But I see magic wherever I go. I see magic. I look through things in a different lens than a lot of people. Like what Baba Gregory called the magic glasses. I see things as being magic. And I love my people. I love where I'm from. But I accepted the fact that the work I'm doing is not going to get the 2,000 likes on Facebook. I see what get 2,000 likes on Facebook to get, shared and retweeted. I'm just in a different zone and different vibration right now. I'm not on that type of, vibration that's very popular with people, but I know for a fact that what I do is highly influential. See, there's a difference between being very popular and being very influential. It's like being handsome or pretty and then having sex appeal. You got a lot of handsome people that they don't have sex appeal. They don't have that sex thing going, that magnetism. You got a lot of pretty people that don't have that magnetism. You got a lot of ugly looking motherfuckers. They got all types of sex appeal. They attract, you don't know why you're attracted to that motherfucker. Like, that motherfucker is ugly as fuck, but something about that person. Something about their confidence, about their swag. They very talented. They confident in what they're doing. That would make people attracted to certain people. It ain't always about the looks. Looks play a part, but like, okay, if you got other attributes, like you don't have to be good looking to be good in the bed or good in the kitchen. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You got all types of ways to work. You just got to work your angles. And that's the beauty of life. It's like, reading about these Siamese twins they're from, I guess, overseas, but they lived in North Carolina, these Siamese twins, and they was connected. They was conjoined twins, right? But they still were able to have a love life. One brother had 12 children. The other brother had 10 or 11 children. And they both married sisters. They married women. They were able to find women, even when they were conjoined. They were connected to the day they died, the day they born to the day they died. It was connected. They shared the same liver. They had everything else separate, but their livers. Their livers were connected. So to the day they died, you know what I'm saying? They were able to have 21 kids in all, right? 21, 22 kids in all. They met two women that accepted them and their condition. You had two sisters that wanted to marry these two Siamese twins. Oh, no, I didn't say two Siamese. Marry these Siamese twins. Look them up. They were Asian Siamese twins. And, you know, they were very famous during their lifetime. And they actually owned a plantation in North Carolina, and they owned slaves. So it's very complicated. You got the Asian dudes that were twins, Siamese twins, who owned slaves in the down south plantation. I can't make this up. But anyway, not to get off subject, but it's somebody out there for everybody. But then it's like, I look at a lot of cats that get mad when women don't holler back at them, don't choose them. But it's more women than men in the world. Ain't no need for you to get mad and choke her out or punch her or kill her. Just move on, kill her. You know, step your game up. You know, don't just stop at 2 or 3 women. Try to holler at 25 women. I'm sure if you holler at 25 women, somebody will bite. It's like I was just down in Atlanta. I'm getting off topic. I'm not even talking about things I thought we were going to be talking about. I was down in Atlanta recently. I talked to this beautiful, educated sister. We had lunch, and she'll tell me how in Atlanta, dudes are more into strippers than they are to anybody else. It's strippers. A lot of guys, no matter what their background is, they digging strippers right now. A lot of strip clubs in Atlanta. And I guess, you know, they want to live out their fantasy. I had another beautiful sister tell me this. I was having lunch with her. You know, she was, you know, seeing this guy. Did not work out because she didn't believe that she was the guy's type. She was not an ugly woman. She was a pretty woman, but she didn't have that stripper body. He was used to mess around with strippers. He had his son by a stripper. So, you know, I'm in love with a stripper. She rockin', she rollin'. It's T-Pain Nation down in the ATL. They love their strippers. So a lot of women find it hard to compete, but there are more women than men in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a kid telling me I'm lonely, you don't have to be lonely. Loneliness, like slavery, is a choice. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody out there for you. You just gotta be willing to bet on you, to take those chances. You know, if they're what you want, you won't. But you don't have to go through this life alone. Like I told you, with Siamese twins were able to find 2 sisters who said, fuck it, we can have sex together and we make all these kids. That'd be some interesting shit going on. But anyway, and Notorious B.I.G. had all types of women. Women love Biggie. You know, he said, black and ugly as ever. However, I still stay coochie down to the socks. He had confidence in himself. Biggie had confidence in himself. He had swag. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to work your angles, man. Like, you know, my sister Melissa be telling me, when you're taking pictures and stuff for Instagram, work the angles. You gotta work your angles. You gotta work your angles in life, man. Everybody got a talent. Everybody got a gift. Somebody loves you, baby. Wow, wow, wow. Come on. Well, you bring shorts back. It's hot out here. I need to bring my shorts out. Biggie, he didn't always have money though. He had a baby mama before he had money, but he had confidence. I think you talking about Dr. Randy Short. He'll be back. Like I said, I've been moving around, bro. It's like, I feel like a Delta blues man. I'm like a modern day Delta blues man. My cousin called me Freedom Rider. I am a Freedom Rider because I be going all over the goddamn place. And people be asking my stuff, but Anthony Bourdain. Let me talk about Anthony Bourdain. It was surprising to hear about him dying last week, but I'm not surprised because he's the man who knew too much. Anthony Bourdain was the man who knew too much. You got to think about who he was involved in, what he was involved with. He was deep in that Me Too movement. You know, Harvey Weinstein is facing a long time jail time. He's facing football numbers in jail. And his girlfriend, Asia Argento, the Italian actress, longtime Italian actress, accused Harvey Weinstein of raping her at Cannes recently. And that was Anthony Bourdain's girlfriend. And then I remember reading on social media how he was cooking food for Rose McGowan and the other early Me Too people. I know it was a black woman that started Me Too, just like it was black people that started ice hockey and started Memorial Day. You know, we started everything. We the fire starters because we the original people. But anyway, I remember he cooked dinner or something like that for Rose McGowan and some other early Me Too Hollywood type people. And he was dating Asia Argento, you know, who said that Harvey Weinstein raped her. And so it's quite possible that he was knocked off. You got to understand too. You got to understand this too. The media has been heavily compromised by a U.S. intelligence agency. I think they could have wagged the dog Anthony Bourdain. He could have been wagged the dog. Dog it. You know, y'all ever saw the movie Wag the Dog that came out 20 years ago? It starred Dustin Hoffman as his Hollywood producer who was hired by the White House to create a fake war to get the people's minds off the scandal, off a presidential sex scandal. This came out right around the time of the Clinton Lewinsky thing. So, but the thing about Dustin Hoffman, he did such a great job of creating a fake war that he wanted to tell the truth about it. And the White House would not let him tell the truth, so they killed him. And I believe they say he committed suicide or died of natural causes. It's been a while since I saw the movie. But Anthony Bourdain, the fact that he was able to travel to all these countries without any type of restrictions, places where a lot of other people couldn't go, just years before or decades before, he could have been picking up intel for the CIA. You know, the CIA has long compromised the U.S. Media infrastructure. Like you think about a thing called Operation Mockingbird. Look up Operation Mockingbird. It talks about how the CIA, you know, implanted stories or put people or control journalists. You think about 60 Minutes. Some of their top media consultants are CIA. Y'all remember that 60 Minutes journalist who got killed in that crazy car accident in New York? That was just several years ago. Was that really a car accident? Think about Princess Di. I'm not trying to put out conspiracy theories. I just want y'all to wake up to the reality. Y'all been living in a program matrix for a while now. That you've been getting spoon-fed bullshit about what's really going on out here. And so when I come along and offer a different point of view, people get all scared and shook and shit. Well, he's a nutcase. No, not really. Because I studied this story. I know how it's going to end. But Anthony Bourdain could have been a CIA asset, for all we know. Reporting back and gathering intelligence for the U.S. intelligence agencies. You know, like I said, he was heavily involved with Me Too. You know, even Asia was shocked about his death, supposedly. But it's like Marilyn Monroe. It's been proven that Marilyn Monroe did not commit suicide, but yet y'all still go with the suicide bullshit. Because suicide is a way for folks to get out of really searching for the truth. Like when they said, well, this was suicide, y'all stop thinking and y'all go back to y'all regularly scheduled programming of sports and Real Housewives and Love and Hip Hop. Because they give y'all excuses for not to think deeper. When they tell you that Marilyn Monroe could not swallow that many pills in order to get that it would be impossible for a human being to swallow the pills they say she swallowed. And they not find certain things in the system. When they tell you that Robert Kennedy, the shot that killed Robert Kennedy came from the back to the head behind his ear. The kill shot came to the right side of his head behind his ear. And Sirhan was standing in front of Robert Kennedy the whole time. He was not in the back, but the shots that hit Robert Kennedy came from the back. And y'all still believe Sirhan did that shit. And he can't even recall being there unless under hypnosis. He cannot even say, I did it. He refused to say he did it. Just like James Earl Ray refused to say he did it. James Earl Ray never had a trial. He never said he was guilty of killing Dr. King. The way I don't understand, y'all assume that James Earl Ray said he was guilty. No, he didn't. He never admitted guilt. He never admitted guilt of killing Dr. King. Just like Sirhan had a 3-hour conversation recently with Robert Kennedy Jr. The Kennedys want to know the truth about what happened to one of their patriarchs. He want to know the truth about what happened to his father. He was a teenager when his father was assassinated. He want to know the truth. He know that Sirhan didn't kill his father. He know that the government had a part in it. It's like the King family knew and proved it in the court of law. The U.S. government was complicit in killing Dr. King. But yeah, y'all go with this shit about James Earl Ray and about we don't know who really did it. I just, it's been proven who did it. And that's why I'm saying this is where I'm at right now, where our people. It's like, you can keep on repeating stuff and, oh, you so full of knowledge. But shit, y'all don't want to do the research because once y'all do the research and once you find out what the knowledge is really all about, then you are held accountable. You got to make a decision. Should I share this? Should I just save it for myself? Or should I not mention it at all because I'm afraid? Well, hell, this system don't respect your humanity, don't respect your mama. So what you got to lose? If you never had a decent job in this system, what the fuck you got to lose by sharing the information and about doing something with the information? Don't sit on the information. Like I tell you, when people ask me, who's the next Dick Gregory? Nigga, you got next. Dick Gregory set it up in a way where he don't have to worry about anointing nobody as the next. Because what he did all these interviews. So if you are inspired by what he said, or if you challenge what he said and did your own research, then you got next. Stop waiting for somebody with some charisma and some articulation to come around to save your ass, to spoon feed you, to hold your hand, nigga. Nobody hold your hand or spoon feed you. We are in trouble right now. This is a danger zone we in. We at ground zero, no time for bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? And the fake and the real. And people got this thing about, well, Brother Ron, you an agent? Nigga, if I was an agent, I would be YouTubing live and begging for donations, nigga. I would be living it up. I'd be driving foreign cars, having all types of dime pizzas from around the world. I would be doing this work, man. This people's work I'm doing. This God work I'm doing, man. I don't know what I'm going to be in 24 hours. I don't know what I'm going to be in the next hour. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to do this information because I'm passionate about sharing this, because I don't want to leave anything, unsaid or undone while I'm here. I'm leaving a legacy. It's a living legacy. It's amazing. I go to places and brothers know who I am. I went to the lynching memorial in Montgomery. This brother named Christopher Reeves came up to me, Brother Ron. But the fun thing about Christopher Reeves is that he had on an Incredible Hulk t-shirt. Now, I know the brother was very, he was hulkish, had muscles and all that. Team light skin with muscles. It's like Steph Curry with muscles, but I mean, he went out his way, man. He had his baby and his woman with him. He went out his way to run to me and to shake my hand and to, give me a brother hug, And people don't know what you be going through when you out here going through it, And for that brother to acknowledge me and to tell me, brother, you listen to your stuff. It's not just about Dick Gregory. It's about all the stuff you've been doing. And I have my children listen to what you're saying. We listen to it together. When I hear brothers telling me that, I don't care if I'm in Montgomery or Memphis or California. When people tell me, I not only listen to what you're saying, I got my children listen to what you're saying. I got my mama. These grown children telling their mamas, their daddies to listen to what I'm saying. And it's humbling because it's not about me. It's about the message. I do my best to put it out there, but I want my people to start thinking and to do for themselves in terms of finding this information. Stop waiting for the mailman sometimes to deliver the message. Be your own savior. Be your own Messiah. Because nobody is coming for you if you're not coming for yourself. Anthony Bourdain, they said it was suicide to quit. It's like Kate Spade. They said all that stuff. They said if I die, whatever, and they said it's suicide, no, it wasn't suicide. Investigate that motherfucker. Like they tell me these black people committing suicide, like the sister down in Atlanta committed suicide in a Super Walmart parking lot. Come on, man. The fuck? Come on. Where the cameras at, y'all? Where all the brother hanging himself from a bridge near Morris Brown? I'm gonna tell you what these things about. They saying the suicide rate is higher than the auto death rate. Got more people dying for suicide than car wrecks. Okay, what is it all about? What is it all about? Well, Marcus Garvey said this decades ago. Marcus Garvey was a prophet. He said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing Marcus Garvey. He said that the modern life will be the death of the Negro. Modern life will be the death of the Negro. Ever since we lost our connection with the land, we've been in trouble. We've been moving through quicksand. We've been sinking. Like the brother said, the ship be sinking. Ever since we lost our connection with the land, we've been going nowhere fast. You understand? White folks came over here for land. They didn't come over here just to practice religion. They practice the religions of white supremacy. I call it white mediocrity. They came over here for some land, man. It was land grab. You know what I'm saying? The Homestead Act, land grab. Black folks, 40 acres a mule. We'll give y'all 40 acres and a mule. We'll let y'all hold it for us and we take that shit back. That's what white folks do. Y'all talking about what contracts and sovereign. They don't give a fuck about no contracts and peace treaties. These folks are warmongers, man. That's their nature. Their nature is not peace and love and understanding. It's chaos. They make their money off of chaos. It's organized chaos. This system is organized chaos. Capitalism makes money off of exploitation of goods, services, and people in organized chaos. Wars are not fought to maintain democracy or spread freedom. They are fought to control assets, to make money, to make profit. So y'all join the military, think y'all protecting freedoms. You don't Name me one military in history. Name me one military in history that was all about protecting freedom of speech for the people. What military? Y'all keep saying, well, the military protect our freedom. Nigga, if you're not willing to fight for what you want, you don't deserve no freedom. If you're not willing to fight for what you want, if you're not willing to die for what you want, nigga, you don't deserve freedom. You deserve whatever they give you. And then you cry about it. And another thing, police brutality. I have heard no serious candidate for any office in our land. You want to solve police brutality? Stop making these motherfuckers carry liability insurance. Make them carry liability insurance. Make them pay for liability insurance. Make these police officers out here officer friendlies. Make them start paying for police brutality. Because some of these people, it's like when some people join the military. Some of the people be joining the military just to kill people and get away with it. Some people join the military just to kill and rape people and get away with it and get medals for it. Some people join police forces to kill, rape people and get away with it. Y'all keep on thinking that everybody join for the right. I'm going to tell you something. What is the right reason? This is a culture of death. What I'm saying is, some police officers, I'm sure, out there be waking up in the morning talking about, I can't wait to kill me a nigger. Give me a nigger, shoot him in the back, be self-defense, get a paid vacation. But it's not just them doing it, it's a mentality. What I'm saying is, what if you start making them pay for their own liability insurance? And think how many people get dropped from the police force and won't be able to get hired nowhere else because they can't afford the insurance. You know, y'all keep on talking about they're a good cause. I ain't about no good cause. I want people that have respect to humanity. Whatever job you're doing, you should have respect for human beings. Ain't about who's good and bad. And we're going to sort these people out. Where's the politician with the guts to take on the fraternal order of police, to take on the people and say, look, we're going to make these police officers all pay for liability insurance. So they'll think twice about shooting a brother 20 times in the back over a cell phone. Where is the courageous leadership? We have no leadership. We have no vision. And y'all keep on talking about who's the leader. I mean, niggas, please. You the leader. If the person staring back at you in the mirror ain't your friend, then goddamn it, you have no friends, in the word of Dr. John Henry Clark. You know? And you about to say to Abrams. People want to superimpose their hopes and dreams and ambitions on one person. And this system don't work like this. The system's not about individuals. It's a system. Everybody who wins in this system, every group is group politics, group dynamics, group economics, group this, group that. Black folks are the only one want to be the first and only. I'm the first this, I'm first that. That's why you the last, nigga. You be the first and you be the last because there's no group. You have no group to support you. You have no group to protect you, to fight with you, to die with you. You need groups. Groups rule this system. Group politics, group economics, group education. I remember I was touring Brooklyn for Christmas, around Christmas time back in 2013. Took a tour of Brooklyn. We went to a part of Brooklyn known as Williamsburg. And I think it had the Hasidic Jews there. And on every block in their neighborhood, they had some type of academy and school bus in front of that academy. And the tour guide was saying that a lot of these people don't believe in secular education. But at the same time, they might not believe in going to places for secular education. But they control the education in their community. They had a real community because they control the education and economics of the community. Black folks, like Dick said, we live in neighborhoods. And people think that's a joke, but he telling the truth. If you don't control your economics and education, you have no community. And by them controlling their economics and education, they control their police. Because police were formed to protect property and to work on the interests of the haves, not the have-nots. Y'all keep on forgetting why the police were formed in the first place. Slave catching, runaway property. Like George Carlin, the comedian, said, this is an ownership society. If you don't own nothing, you can't say shit. You don't run shit. It's an ownership society. So the Jews in Williamsburg, the Hasidic Jews, they control their education, they control their economics, they control their police. Police brutality happened to black folks. You don't control shit. You don't control your local store, your corner store. You don't control your schools. You definitely don't control your economics. You know, they got you signing up for the military, fighting your enemy over there. Then your enemy over here becomes the boss at your job that you got to work for. Becomes the owner of the grocery store on the corner. Then you don't protect your women. You know, I don't see, it's funny going through these bodegas and all these grocery stores with the Arabs. You don't see their women talking to them niggas in the street. They ain't talking to no neighborhood niggas. You don't see their women intermingling with the black people of the neighborhood. But I guarantee you, they don't have no problem getting their share and taste the sisters. I have no. It is what it is. Black women don't have to go through their man for anything. They don't have to come to us for anything. That's different from other groups of people in this system. White women still got to go through the white man for certain permissions and for certain access. A black woman have been trained and programmed in a way where she don't have to respect her man or go to him for nothing because the world does not respect her man. So society does not respect her man. So why should she respect her man? And he does not protect his woman. Like the Montgomery bus boycott, one of the big things was that the black man protected black women from being raped by white police officers and white bus drivers. This is stuff they don't talk about the Montgomery bus boycotts about. When you had black men, World War II, Korean War veterans, armed black men protecting women from being raped. A lot of black men died because they're trying to protect black women from being raped or killed by white men. They don't talk about that. You got this thing where people believe everything Issa Rae or somebody say about it, still doing their own homework. You had a time in World War II at those factory plants up in Detroit where black women were being mistreated by the white people at the factory. And the black man said, if you don't treat our sister right, we're going to quit. We're going to strike on this plant. And because the black man stood in solidarity with the black women were able to get, better pay at the jobs. You had one auto plant in the World War II in Detroit. They made the black women eat in the restrooms during lunchtime. But when the black man came to the sister aid, everything was set right. You got to understand the real Trinity, the real Holy Trinity is the black man, woman, and child. That's why Montgomery was able to work the way he did, because he had the black family involved in their own liberation. Didn't need no white college students from up north to tell you how to vote and read and write. Just need a black man and woman and child to love each other and do right by each other and protect each other and honor each other. That's what we still need now. That's what Fannie Lou Hamer was able to figure out. This woman didn't know she could vote until she was 47 years old. But she always had that black man with her. She always had a pap with her. You know what I'm saying? She rolled black. She knew what these white feminists were trying to do with the movement. She knew how these people was co-opting the movement and leaving black folks behind. And look where we at 50-something years later. We worse off now. Medgar Evers died 55 years ago, but the economy was better for black people in a lot of ways 50 years ago. Because y'all be fighting for everybody, but nobody's fighting for black people. Y'all be for the legal immigrants. And the thing about it, to be honest with you, they're taking the jobs that your grandma used to do. They taking those jobs that black folks was doing 50 years ago. And people saying, well, black folks, they doing the jobs we don't want to do. No, they doing the jobs at a low pay. That's the problem. We don't want to work for free. We did that before. We didn't like that, okay? We didn't like working for free before. So fuck y'all with that bullshit. Y'all be trying to do this janky ass logic when it comes to stuff like that, man. Study fucking history. I don't have to have the number. Man, let's talk to these old timers, man. Be talking to these folks, man. They be losing their minds. Like, remember I talked to these sanitation workers, the 6-day sanitation workers in Memphis. The strike that brought Memphis, Dr. King was killed. It was a contract hit on Dr. King's life in Memphis. And he was brought here because he was trying to help these 1,300 sanitation workers get benefits they have not still received, even today. And talking to old timers, man, they'll tell you stuff. Yeah, young people. I remember I was at an event at the library, and I recorded it. I'll put it out there soon. But you had the 6-day sanitation workers. It was 1,300 back then. I think it's barely 30 of them still around. And a lot of you guys in their 70s and 80s, they still working as garbage men. You guys been working for over almost 50, 60 years as garbage men. Not because I believe they want to, but because they don't have enough to retire on. You know what I'm saying? They saying up there talking about, It's a lot better now than it was then. It's a lot better now. They still got police brutality. The thing about it, like I told her, I got up there and I was brave. I said, look, I respect your elders. I respect y'all sacrifice and what y'all done. But by my research, what you saying is not true about how it's much better now than it was back then, because back then you had a booming economy. I mean, you could be a high school or even an elementary school dropout back then as a black man and get a job at the factory. Worked there for 30, 40 years. Saying, support a family of 4. Your woman stay at home, take care of the family. They ain't have to worry about getting an outside job or an extra job, whatever. Work that one job for 30, 40 years. Send your 3 children to college and still retire with a good ass pension. No days are gone, brother. We been sold out. Y'all was doing hella good. Even as a garbage man, still was able to make a decent living to a certain degree to support a family. And y'all enjoyed the 70s. Y'all in Detroit, working for Ford and GM. Every man a Cadillac, you know what I'm saying? I had an uncle. I got an uncle, actually. He was from Texas. He's from Texas, Big Jimmy. I didn't know until like recently that he was not a college graduate, but he had a good ass job at the GM plant. Living in a white, predominantly white neighborhood near a country club, and they were doing good. Cadillacs, what I'm saying? Everything. Different times. Times have changed. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm still on. But anyway, yeah, reminisce when they reminisce over you. My God. Yeah, but y'all research, man. Y'all can't depend on nobody to tell y'all what the real is, because a lot of times you're gonna end up disappointed because everybody's a human. So that means they're gonna let you down, not because they try to, but because people gotta die. And people make compromises in order to survive, So we had our, everybody got their run, but see what else to talk about. When is the next interview with the judge? Support the platform. We'll see what we could do. Y'all can donate here and there. Support Brother Run and We All Be movement. I can help you all out. You help me, I help y'all. How about that? If people, spread the good news, support what we're doing, buy some art, do that, I think I put all that in the subscription box. And I want to thank everybody who has, supported the platform over the years, who have offered words of encouragement for the artists. We all be. And really, I mean, there's a lot of Judge Joe Brown interviews I have done. I mean, how much judge y'all need? He put a lot of information out there for you all. I got hours and hours of Judge Joe Brown already in the archives. And with the PayPal, here you go. Thank you so much. Somebody asking, I need help. Lordy. I love y'all. That's why I do this shit. Thank you so much. Sister Norris Black. I think it's sister or Black. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, that's contribute because I got hours and hours of Dick Gregory stuff. People say they miss Dick Gregory. They just popped in YouTube and look at Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory here forever, baby. It's like Judge. I mean, hours, Judge Brown, Dr. Short. I'm gonna holler at Dr. Short this week. Get him back on. Dr. Short got so much information to give y'all. But even Dr. Short, man, we don't support our people like we should, because Dr. Short shouldn't have no problem getting access to any type of media platform. But he has been blackballed off of many, many different platforms because he speaks his truth. And I believe in people speaking their truth. I don't believe in censorship. I hate censorship. It's like, for example, next week, I hope to live stream it. If not, it'll be available in the archives. The We All Be Group Incorporated, my organization, which is a 501c3, we are going to unveil a historic marker at Memphis National Cemetery on Juneteenth. That's June 19th. Juneteenth is the holiday where the slaves down in Galveston found out they were free on June 19th, 1865 at Galveston, Allen, right outside of Houston, Texas. And so it's a national holiday of sorts. So what we're doing, we're going to unveil the historic marker outside the Memphis National Cemetery, to honor the victims of the Fort Pillow Massacre of 1864. This is the Fort Pillow Massacre of 1864. This was a Civil War battle which turned into a massacre. Confederate forces led by Nathan Bedford Forrest, prolific slave trader and first Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That Nathan Bedford Forrest led a charge against Fort Pillow. This was a fort in Hennon, Tennessee, where Alex Haley is from, the so-called author of Roots and all that, and the autobiography of Malcolm X, the so-called co-author of the autobiography of Malcolm X. Nathan Bedford Forrest's men slaughtered 300 U.S. colored troops and black women and children. And it was confirmed a massacre from primary sources. Even Nathan Bedford Forrest said that there was a large number of civilians at the fort, meaning women and children. So his forces killed 300 black troops, women, and children. It was horrible. And I did a lot of videos, interviews, we did conferences, everything. We got this in one of our playlists about Nathan Bedford Forrest and the Fort Pillow Massacre. So if you're trying to find out information on that, you can catch up on that. But our organization raised almost $3,000 to put a historic marker at the Memphis National Cemetery, where there are 109 cemetery plots of the remains of the victims of the Fort Pillow Massacre. Now, I said it was about 300 people that got killed, but the reason why it's probably 109 cemetery plots was because when they went back to the fort to exhume the bodies, a lot of the bodies were mingled in with each other. Decomposition, all that stuff set in. So I'm guessing they just, whatever. Identify what they could identify. So you got 109 cemetery plots in Memphis National Cemetery with the title of an unknown soldier, but it could be, remains of women and children along with the soldiers inside those cemetery plots. So we're honoring the ancestors. Now, Memphis is the same city where some of the black folks got together. They took down the statues of Nathan Bedford Forrest, Nathan Bedford Forrest and Jefferson Davis. Now, the statue of Nathan Bedford Forrest was over top of his remains, him and his wife remains at what used to be called Forest Park. They took that statue down in December, but they still got his bodies they still got the bodies of his wife and of him buried there. And so it's incomplete. What I tell people too is that every year for the last 112 years, the Sunday before his birthday is July 13th. He was born July 13th, 1821. You have white folks by the thousands sometimes, the sons and daughters of the Confederacy, Klansmen, white nationalists, all types of people from all walks of life. Not just what you think of as rednecks and peckerwoods, but professional men and women, educators, doctors, business owners, even politicians will come every Sunday before his birthday, July 13th, to honor him at Forest Park for the last 112 years. They have Civil War reenactors, horses, cannons, flags, and people dressed as, I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. I wish I was in Dixieland. So what I've been doing for the last 3 years, I've been going down there not to intervene, not to protest, but to observe and to engage the people. Because I just want to know why they love this man so much and all this stuff. And I tell them my point of view. And that's what I'm about. Because I know some of y'all say, well, Brother Ron, why you be interviewing these so-called white supremacists and white nationalists? Because I'm not afraid of them, because I know the truth. I know who I am. When you know who you are, you can deal with anybody. And you can deal with people from a position of strength, not one of weakness. Can we all just get along? Why you hate me? Why you don't love you enough to say fuck what they think about you? That's what I do. I love me enough to know who I am and fuck what they think about it. But I respect myself enough to know that, hey, sometimes you gotta put yourself in uncomfortable situations to get the right result, and you gotta change the conversation, because I don't believe in censorship. Like I told the white organizers of these events in honor of Nathan Bedford Forrest, y'all should buy the land. If y'all raise the money privately for that statue in honor of him, that statue was worth, from my understanding, millions of dollars. It was made in Italy. So they raised the money to commission the statue to be made of Nathan Bedford Forrest on a horse. And I said, if y'all raise the money for the statue, y'all should own the land. Y'all should buy the land from the city I don't believe that the descendants of enslaved Africans should be paying taxes on the upkeep of the statue of this white nationalist terrorist. And they agree. They might not agree with how I feel about Nathan Bedford Forrest, but they agree that they should. But the thing about it is, when they have those events, it's like Memphis is a real black town, but on that Sunday, can't find no Negroes. It's like the Negroes all went on vacation. Cause I be sending out social media invites for other black people to come down there and observe what's going on in that city, and so-called the most chocolate city in the country. And there's no Negroes around. And then the Negroes who do show up, they don't know what's going on. It's like they walk into something like a Daniel and Lions Den or a Deer in Headlights, and they start picking, and they start getting into it with some of the people. Some of the white folks could be mean and vicious and call names, but they don't be saying shit to me. But they don't say shit to me. But either black people that don't know what's going on, they get all in their feelings, want to fight. It's too damn hot. It's 100 degrees outside. White people be offering you forced water. They got a thing called forced water, and they have watermelon. I said, I'm not going to eat your watermelon or drink your water, but I will observe your event and engage you and ask you questions. That's what I do. I'm a journalist. I have an inquisitive mind, so that's what I do. But it'd be funny when the black people that don't know what's going on, we want to start doing this Jerry Springer shit. We don't need all that. I just want y'all to know this was happening. Regardless if they take down those statues, you still got this racism thing going on. I don't call it white supremacy, it's white mediocrity. Because anytime you got to legislate power for you, when you got to put another person, another group at a disadvantage so you can feel powerful, you're not supreme, my nigga. You mediocre. You average. You worse than average. You're a chump. That's not supreme. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be killed dominant society. They ain't dominant, nigga, because you keep on joining that military. You making them dominant. You keep on drinking that Kool-Aid. It's like the Wild West could not be won without the help of the Buffalo Soldier. It was the black soldiers that won the Wild West. But yet these same folks that you fight and die for, they'll burn your ass just for eyeballing a white woman. The hell wrong with you? Just for accusing you of sleeping with a white woman, they'll skin you alive and cut your penis off and put it in your mouth. So why this happening to us? Because y'all keep on believing this bullshit called the lesser evil. Nigga, evil is evil. Give a damn. You got 2 rapists. One raped 2 women. Other raped 200 women. They both evil, motherfucker. No goddamn lesser evil or lesser evil because you got no. Ain't no lesser evil. It's evil, nigga. It's like, people trying to whatever, man. But I'm saying, like, bad folk people ask, why this happening? Because we allow it to happen. It don't have to happen. You just gotta be willing to do something. It's like somebody asked Harry Belafonte one time. He said that somebody asked him, like, Mr. Belafonte, I respect you so much immensely. I just want to understand what I need to do in order to, like, what y'all guys were doing back in the day. What do we need to do? What do I need to do? And Harry Belafonte told him something simple. Be willing to die for what you want. That shut the motherfucker up real quick. Be willing to die for what you want. I don't know if it's true because the media is the white mainstream media. They can make up shit. That last week I heard somebody in the Memphis area killed their relative over a honey bun. I don't know if that's true. It might have been something more to that, but if you are willing to kill somebody over a honey bun, my nigga, and you know this person for most of your life, what does it say about you? What did it say about us that you value a honey bun over a person's life? But I don't know if that's true because it's white media. See, that's why it's important to have black media or black first media. They have a media that speaks to your point of view, to our point of view, to my point of view. This is why I do what I do, man. That's why I do what I do, because I think it's very important. And people trying to say, well, this ain't this and this. It don't supposed to be CBS because I don't got CBS money. It don't supposed to be NBC. This is We All Be TV because we all be in it. We all be somebody. This is about the people. This ain't about making stuff look good. Y'all already have somebody lie to you that sound good. And in other news today, President Trump, y'all like that type of shit. Motherfucker be fucking your mama in her ass. And he in other news today, and I rode my horsey today. Y'all, it's like, y'all gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. That's trickology, man. Like I said, a broke clock is right twice a day. God put wisdom in strange places. God will put wisdom in the strangest of places. And the folks who have lived a while know that. The first who have lived a while know that. Y'all keep on trying to look for somebody with a PhD. Name me a black PhD that's going to be transferring any type of generational wealth anytime soon. Y'all believe having a PhD and getting tenureship in academia, that's doing something. Black folks love titles and positions. White folks love land and ownership. You know, we own this, I got this degrees and I got this title, but can you transfer that to the next generation? What institutions, what intellectual property assets are you leaving for your successors, for your people coming after you? And I'm not talking about any black, I'm just talking about in all, like we get caught up in the trappings. You rather wear diamonds than own the diamond mine. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of way we think. That's all I'm saying. We gotta start looking at things differently. It's like the NFL. If them guys was to say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we ain't gonna play no more. We ain't gonna play another down until y'all change this part. They ain't gonna do that because they are enslaved in the system like all of us are. But they just got more people like, if they did that, then their family be like, why you did that? Man, you messed up our money, man. You messed up our money, but I'm messing up my health. I'm messing up my fucking health so everybody else can eat. Everybody's depending on me. Like you a football player, people understand, people that they get paid a lot of money, because look what they put their bodies through, man. That's just compensation for fucking up their bodies for your enjoyment. Fucking up their heads, scrambling their brains like eggs and shit. You ran all them yardage and you can't even walk up them steps, man. I seen football players, they can't walk on steps and they can't walk up steps or down steps or whatever. They talking, I do a lot of repetition, but these motherfuckers be repeating shit, don't know they repeating it. I talked to some of these football players before. They lost a lot so others can have something. But I'm saying we such enslavement to comfort, even when it's not comfortable, man. We so like, all this shit that came out by Waffle House. I don't care where I'm at. I still see a bunch of niggas eating Waffle House. I see a bunch of black people, eating Waffle House. I see, I remember that thing happened with Denny's up in Maryland. Black folks still love Denny's. With those Secret Service men were not getting properly served at Denny's up in, Annapolis, Maryland. I went past that Denny's a couple times in Annapolis, I believe, when I had a girlfriend up there, I thought. But anyway, black folks still eating at Denny's. It's like black folks still eating in Waffle House. Black folks still drinking Starbucks. I mean, what you going to boycott? It ain't about boycotting when you get all these benefits from this system that disrespects your humanity. They've been doing that for generations now. You going to have to get rid of the system. Fuck a boycott, eliminate the system. And start over, but we can't do that. We're too comfortable in our own misery. And we pass along these traumas to generations. So, yeah, folks got child support to pay. I mean, all these little creature comforts. Yeah, man. But I'm saying, like the dude told Harry Belafonte, what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to die for? Because they're killing us anyway, man. I talked about the Georgia Guidestones earlier. Get the population down to 500 million. Look what they're doing to our water supply. People complain about Starbucks raising the price on their coffee. But yet Flint, Michigan still has dirty water. You can't even wash your car with the water they got up in Flint, Michigan. And people complain about Starbucks going up in price, but yet people okay making $8.50 an hour. Starbucks just told you that the goddamn economy, deflation. They said we had to increase the price on our coffee because of inflation. So they should tell you that your minimum wage should be $30 an hour. You just had a Chick-fil-A out of Chick-fil-A out of California, excuse me. They increased their hourly minimum wage to $17 an hour. You still need to have minimum wage at $30 an hour. That's the appropriate amount to pay for minimum wage because of the cost of living has went up since the 80s and the 90s and the 70s and stuff. And you better make your own coffee. That's right, John Williams. this is what you do. Go to Denny's when you have the bubble guts. Yeah, Denny's give you the bubble guts like Waffle House. You know, if the white naked man won't kill you, the food will. Eventually. But yeah, I could talk all night and stuff. But I just want to get back in the saddle. Well, I can still do this. We all be live. But I don't think everybody who are supporters of the movement, who have listened, who have shared the information, who have invested back into the movement. There's a city in Texas. Phil Robeson said there's a city in Texas that has been without drinkable water for decades. Let me tell y'all a secret that y'all probably gonna know. There's a lot of places that the water is horrible that we don't know about. There are a lot of places that the water is not as good as people think there. It's like quality of air. It's like I remember I reading something about Richmond, California years ago. Richmond, California had a high level of young children had asthma. People think asthma is hereditary. A lot of times asthma has to do with your environment. It's the environment. Because the reason why a lot of them children were getting asthma was because Richmond is located next to a Chevron refinery, or was located near a Chevron oil refinery, and it fucked up the quality of air. So you had like a lot of black and brown children getting asthma because of environmental racism. Simple as that. It's like my mom's old neighborhood where her parents lived, where they grew up in. A lot of the people in that neighborhood, including my grandparents, got cancer. And they were next to an army depot. They had some type of weird chemicals in the ground. They had underground chemicals. Because near the army depot, you barely see any stray cats or dogs around there. And you got to pay attention to the animals. Like the tsunami in 2004, a lot of people was reporting how the animals were all moving to higher ground. You better follow the goddamn animals and play the Stevie Wonder song. Higher ground, goddamn it. And follow the music and follow the goddamn animals. When the animals ain't fighting among each other, they all moving up like it's Noah Ark, Old Testament time. You better be following their ass. Like right before an earthquake, the animals start acting interesting. So it is what it is. But like I said, I can talk about a lot of different stuff right now. There's a lot of things right now going on. But do yourself a favor, like Barack Obama, 2 terms. He didn't even pardon Jack Johnson, a dead black man. And the sister from Memphis who got out because of Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian, she wrote to the Obama administration 3 times to get out. They wouldn't touch it, to his Justice Department. And I can remember like it was yesterday when what's that guy name who was the black attorney general for Obama? What's his name? Eric Holder. Talking about, if this country can't talk about race, then we're a country of cowards. I don't know. This shit keep on going in and out. I don't know if y'all listen to me or not. But when Eric Holder, when he first became Attorney General or about to become Attorney General, he said his speech where we are like a nation of cowards and can't deal with the issue of racism. Look how many black folks got killed by police on Obama. Look what happened in Ferguson when he allowed the governor to use, or was the governor at the time named Jay Nixon or something like that. A Democratic governor was allowed to use illegal chemicals on citizens of Ferguson. Misery. And on Obama's watch, what did he say about that? They were allowed to use chemicals against the people in the streets that were outlawed by the Geneva Convention. And Obama didn't do a damn thing. Obama was scared to face his own shadow. Talking about beer summits and shit. And meanwhile, he wasn't even part of Jack Johnson, dead black man, dead heavyweight, been dead since 1946. If it was for Jack Johnson, he might not be here. Because Jack Johnson was he was when they were killing Negroes and hanging Negroes, he was screwing white women like it was a sport. He was like, that was his greatest sport, screwing white women. And they threw the book at him because he was screwing white women. It had nothing to do with nothing else. You a nigga, you don't know your place. I mean, they were hanging black folks. They were hanging black women. Cutting babies out black women's wombs. And this dude was screwing white women. And going 100 miles per hour in Georgia. This Jack Johnson, who the hell is this man? Fuck his politics. He did what he wanted to do. That's some gangster shit. That's gangster stuff, man. He win a fight, black folks get killed. They show his fight in the movie theater, start a race riot. Goddamn. Who is this man? Who is this man? The Galveston Giants. I want y'all to look this guy up. Jack Johnson was unique. But anyway, like I said, Yeah, it wouldn't pardon Marcus Garvey. But I'm saying, okay, this is my problem. This is the problem with this. Jack Johnson, Marcus Garvey didn't do anything wrong but be themselves. Their greatest sin was being strong black men. You might not agree with the politics of either Garvey or Jack Johnson, but they were black and bold and beautiful. Black, bold, beautiful hetero males. That's why their punishment is for being strong black hetero males. They're being punished for that. So they're not guilty of anything. The system, the whole damn system is guilty for mistreating black people. But they weren't guilty. So I mean, the pardon is like symbolic, but I want Trump to pardon Muhammad Abu-Jamal if he can. White man's laws. Trump know how to find legal loopholes in these fucking laws. That's why he's president. Cause like he said, the game is rigged and it is rigged. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia. All these places got these stories about environmental racism and stuff like that. You look at Atlanta, look what happened to that CDC guy, that black scientist, the Navy guy. Now, he drowned, but he's a Navy guy, right? If he's in the Navy, he know how to swim. I'm thinking. The CDC guy that said the vaccinations were poison, whatever they were doing. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. warned us about the vaccinations, how it was targeting black boys in particular for autism. And yet y'all still get these vaccinations. Y'all still get these damn flu shots. Atlanta is not that far away from Tuskegee. Another government-sponsored conspiracy theory, right? Where they let them black men pass on syphilis to their families and to their children, giving them placebos, thinking they're getting treated for syphilis. You know, I heard some horror stories about how them black, you had women whose breath was smelling because, it's from syphilis, sucking their syphilic dick. I mean, it's not what I'm saying. I'm reading stories and stuff about people and their loved ones suffering the syphilis and passing it on to their family. We nothing but guinea pigs and lab rats. Anytime they can call a butcher like J. Marion Sims a medical genius, he was butchering black women, ripping up their wombs like he was Jack the Ripper. You know what I'm saying? They say he's a scientist and a genius and the father of gynecology. At your expense, black woman. Henrietta Lacks. John Hawkins should be paying reparations to the family of Henrietta Lacks and also to the black people of Baltimore. That's another story. The woman who wrote the book, Rebecca Skloot, she's a white woman. I think she's an atheist, I don't know. But she wrote a book about Henrietta Lacks and she got the money and the family still broke and can't afford health insurance. The daughter of Henrietta Lacks died broke. She died, I believe, in 2009, 2010. Couldn't even enjoy Oprah Winfrey playing her in the movie. Family broke, destitute, but the white woman wrote the story and she get all the glory. White woman wrote the story and she get the glory. She used to be a writing professor in Memphis, in the University of Memphis. Rebecca Skloot. I'm not knocking Rebecca Skloot. I don't know her. I posted did an interview with her a couple years ago, several years ago. Whatever reason didn't come through, but it is what it is. But, I don't know her personally, but I'm just saying how the system works. Like, I know people who are making a living off of black folks. This is Black Music Month. You have white people writing, they calling Negroes up in the yellow pages and white pages, doing interviews with these guys, writing these books, making money, making a living. These guys still live in a hole in the wall. Still can't afford tissue or light, or lights in their home. But I'm saying it is what it is, light. But a lot of times we choose these things. We choose to live a certain way or see things a certain way. Yeah, they paying people. Then people gonna pay a price they ain't even aware of. They are paying people to experiment with these new drugs, these so-called drugs. I mean, America is the largest drug market in the world. We the largest prison market and the largest drug market, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, it's so much to talk about. I've been gone for so long, but not really. I just live stream, but I hope that most of this really came out in the wash. I don't know. We doing auto tune on these live streams. Sometimes you're not trying to do them. Did they pardon Paul Robeson? Paul Robeson is an interesting case. They terrorized Paul Robeson. They took away his passport, his ability to make a living while he was alive. And the thing about it, he lived longer than Malcolm and Martin. He lived twice their age. So, like Dizzy Gillespie said in his autobiography, they did Malcolm and Martin a favor, but they tortured Paul Robeson. They put them out their misery when they were younger. Not saying they did them, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like some gallows humor, you know, that dark humor. Not really humorous, but it's Paul Robeson went through a lot of stuff. I mean, we still don't understand the genius and greatness of Paul Robeson. For man can speak 20 different languages, one of the first black football All-Americans, one of the best professional football players of his generation, one of the greatest singers of all time. Yeah, a lot of our people don't know about Paul Robeson. And he sacrificed his career to be a champion for his people. And it cost him his life and his living and all types of stuff. But I can never get tired about talking about the greatness of Paul Robeson. Like, Paul Robeson was a Jegna, I ain't gonna say mentor, but a Jegna to Harry Belafonte. You know, Harry Belafonte was blessed to learn at the feet of Paul Robeson and Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. And he's 91 years young, and, you know, look what he's done for our people and his contribution. But his interest with people, they would try to discredit Harry Belafonte because he married a white woman. He was married to a black woman at first, but he married a white woman. And same thing with Frederick Douglass. You know, he was married to a sister. Sister helped him, gave him his children, his legacies. But he ended up marrying a white woman that was about the age of his daughter the second time around. So does that discredit the work that they done on behalf of their people if they marry outside the race? You just dismiss all that powerful, impactful work they done on behalf of the people because they married outside their race. You know, Dr. King was going to marry a white German cafeteria lady. And the family said, hell no, you can't marry her. Not only because she white, but because she below your class level, son. She's not even your same socioeconomic class. She's a white cafeteria lady at your seminary, my nigga. So anyway. The second Ku Klux Klan was found in Stone Mountain, Georgia in 1915. That's correct. In Stone Mountain, Georgia. It really was the most powerful version of the Klan because in the 1920s, they were like 4 million strong. And the biggest Klan state in the whole union was not what you think it was. It was Indiana. Indiana was the biggest Klan state during that second renaissance of the Klan. You had governors, senators, judges, mayors. They were all Klansmen. But it was a Me Too moment that brought the Klan down nationwide the second time. Are y'all familiar with that Me Too movement? That pre-Me Too movement where a very influential leader of the Klan from Indiana, he date raped this white woman. He also bit her. He did some crazy bestiality shit to the white woman. He date raped her. He bit her, beat her, all this stuff. She ended up dying from, infection and stuff. But she named him as her murderer and her rapist. I think his name was David Stephen or Stephen Black or something like that. But he helped brought down the second renaissance of the Klan because he started snitching on everybody. He the one that raped and killed this white woman. And he started snitching on the whole leadership of the Klan because he thought that they abandoned him. So he basically sold out the whole leadership, not only just statewide, but nationwide. It's a big scandal. They did a Lifetime movie about it, I think. I think his name was Stephen Black. Y'all probably have to take all a look. It's all online. But that was fascinating. Yeah, the Alice Johnson lady, I believe Trump freed the black woman out of jail. That's who I was talking about earlier. Well, she wrote 3 times to the Obama's administration, Justice Department, to get freed. And they wouldn't touch it. Obama scared his own shadow to me. I mean, it was disappointing. Because I went to both his inaugurations. The president inauguration. I wasn't invited to the White House. I was just outside in the cold with everybody else. All the other lemmings, followers with sheeple. And I even got a $300 speeding ticket the last time to vote for Obama in a losing state. He didn't win Tennessee in 2012, but I got a $300 speeding ticket in Virginia. Virginia is not for lovers. It's for speed traps. Virginia is a big-ass speed trap, especially Southern Virginia. Near Virginia Tech and shit. Be careful about speeding out there, man. You go 10 miles on the speed limit, they give you $300 speeding tickets out there, man. True story. But I was trying to rush home to vote for Obama, which I did. You know, it cost me $300, and he's still like, man, everybody coming to him on the second time around, he's gonna really come through for black people. He didn't come through for black people like that. You know, people say he had that wink and that smile, and he's talking. He's talked down on black people. I mean, he ain't gonna never forget when he talked down on the Morehouse graduates. Like, pull your pants up and, you know, get a job, nigga. You know, and it's like how he talked to black people. Like what Jesse Jackson said, I felt where he was coming from with that, but I voted for him twice and went to the inauguration on my own dime twice, and it is what it is, man. So like, I don't have no problem calling Obama out, and because I remember when he won in 2008, you got white folks. I mean, you got smart white people, well-off white people thinking that because they voted for Obama and he won, I mean, racism is no longer exist because Obama is president. Nah, racism does exist, because I remember when he was running earlier in the campaign, they were saying stupid shit in the media talking about, is Obama black enough to be president? Motherfucker, who black enough to be president? You better be lucky he wasn't black enough. He would never been president. Shit. I mean, they were saying that it was a debate. Is he black enough? Because the thing about white people, they love Obama because he didn't have that connection, that direct connection to the slavery thing. His daddy was this exotic Kenyan guy. He was raised by this Indonesian. It's not the traditional American black story, this Obama story. You know what I'm saying? So white folks felt guilty free until Reverend Wright, you know, descendant of slave connected ass, came along and said, America, goddamn America. White folks lost their shit, even though Reverend Wright was an exceptional Negro himself, very educated, actually saved Lyndon B. Johnson's life, worked on the president when he had like a heart surgery or something. So I mean, I would say he was like a safe Negro. He's educated, but he had his own mind. He said, goddamn America. America lost their shit. They didn't care about Emmett Till. They didn't care about Scottsboro Boys. They didn't care about, Reese Taylor being gang raped coming home from church by 6 white men. But a black man say, goddamn America. Oh my God. Who is this fucking firebrand? And Obama had to disown Reverend Wright, But anyway, I don't have my faith in none of these politicians, man. Y'all keep on. Y'all can wait for Jesus. Y'all can wait. Y'all can vote for Democrat forever and wait for Jesus forever. But I just know for a fact that if you're not trying to save yourself, nobody's going to save you. Oh, in 2020, they're trying to get Kamala Harris. She's another one of those not connected to slavery black people. Kamala Harris' dad is from the islands of Jamaica, but her mom is Indian, like in India, And she went to Howard. I believe she's an AKA. I don't care about all this stuff. I do not care about all this stuff because a lot of us don't know who we are, man. A lot of us don't even know our own family history. We keep on claiming that we can't trace it. Nigga, look, my mama has traced our family, parts of our family, all the way back to the Revolutionary War. You just got to know how to look. You got to know how to research. Like I say, I can't wait on somebody to be charismatic, come along to tell y'all who you are. You should be knowing who you are. You should be learning who you are. Why are you having children and having them in a world where people look like them are being mistreated? And then they ask you, why daddy, why mom? You can't get no goddamn answers who they are. Well, son, don't believe that bullshit they saying because this is who you are. This is who you come from. These your people. If you can't have those type of conversations, why are you having kids, man? Because you trying to set them up to fail. Because white folks take pride, even if it's a lie. White folks will take pride in telling a lie and make it real. They'll make their myths into realities, man. Black folks, we still trying to prove facts to white people that lie all the time about their heritage. You still trying to prove something to white people when they can't accept that Beethoven was a black man. Beethoven was a black man. They can't accept that you want to prove that you worth something. I be hearing Negroes saying, I don't know, this shit keep on going in and out. I keep on seeing it. I don't know if y'all can hear me anyway. But I'm about to wrap it up. But I be hearing Negroes even today tell me you gotta be twice as smart and work twice as hard. You have to be twice as smart and work twice as hard. You gotta know what you're dealing with. Y'all still believe that white folks are superior. They're not superior, man. I went to school with them. I went to one of the best schools in the country. with these white people. I remember, I went to Washington University in St. Louis. It's like the Harvard University of the Midwest, man. They pride themselves. It's like Ivy League. It's Ivy League, basically. I remember in our history class freshman year, they were about to flunk the whole class because we had to do an art history essay. And most of them fools went online and got they brought the same fucking paper. And the TAs, the teacher assistants, they all discovered and told the professor, they were about to flunk all of us in that class because the majority of them were buying fucking papers online and they brought the same fucking paper. Now, y'all trying to tell me these people are superior to you? Yeah, a lot of them be the future executives of Fortune 500 companies. They'll be political stars probably and all this shit. But these people are not better than you. They just have more tricks at their disposal. They have more access to resources. That's about it. That's about it. So stop telling your kids that lie about being twice as smart as white people. White people actually ain't as smart as... Look, if I tell you that the king of country music had to learn from a black man, if I told you that George Gershwin had to learn how to play piano and compose from a black man, who's really the smart one? Who's really the smart one? So you got to stop telling that fairy tale, that mythology, and you making it the reality for your children. You know, that's not the reality, man. That is not the reality. They went to Africa to learn. The Romans and Greeks went to Africa to learn, not to teach the African. They went to learn from the African. So get it right, man. But yeah, they try to set up Cory Booker, man. But I'm not interested, man. I'm through with the symbols, man. I'm through with the symbols. Only black folks like political symbols more. I don't think nobody like political symbols more than black people. You know, the Irish, they love their Kennedys and all that, but they know the Kennedys had to put in their work. You know what I'm saying? They had to put in their work. They had to organize. You know, we all want this symbol shit like Wakanda. We got this Wakanda state of mind. And I tell people we can make Mississippi the real Wakanda, niggas live. Because you're not really about politics. You're about fantasy. About science fiction. Y'all like that Superfly mentality. I'm talking about the original Superfly where he confronted the crooked cops and he dared them to touch one hair on his pretty head. He turned his back on them crooked cops and walked away. That's not the fucking reality that you live in. That's some fantasy shit. But anyway, and that's why they're bringing back a new Superfly, but that's another show for another day. We want to thank everybody for listening. And I'll talk about Alice Johnson, I believe that's his name, who got pardoned by President Trump in another show. I probably upload it, to the We All Be TV archives. Check out the archives. Got a lot of interesting things. There ain't nobody really doing what I'm doing. It's not to be braggadocious or anything like that. There ain't nobody like me. God only made one. I did one per customer. There's only one person like me. And I'm doing what I can do under these circumstances. But I want to thank everybody for being patient and for listening to me. If it sounds like auto-tune, it's not because I'm out of tune. And I'm going to listen to it in the replay. But I hope it came out right. If not, I got backup recordings I'll put out there. Chop it up. I chop and screw it. Chop and screw. And it's getting late when I'm talking like this. But yeah, I'm not voting for any symbols in 2020. I'm not voting because you're a woman or because you're a beige person. I'm not going to vote for you. I'm past that emotion. It's like black folks treat their politics like we're going to church. And I don't go to church. Not to knock folks who do, but I don't go. Because I just don't feel like getting emotional like Carl Thomas up in the mud. I don't feel like getting emotional like Carl Thomas over my politics. Because when you get emotional about stuff, you don't make the best decisions in any situation, player. So, thank you all for listening and all who donate and who will donate in the future. We love you madly, in the words of Great Duke Elton. Thank you for that donation. That donation that came in time is gas money for me to travel up and down the Mississippi Delta, Highway 61. We give you all these unique stories nobody else give. But to everybody who have given a donation and will give a donation. And will, encourage me as I see you on the highways and byways. I'm always good. I run into people no matter what. I mean, it's crazy. I could be in Mississippi and a taxi cab driver said, "Brother Ron, how you doing? We all be one love. Listening to you in my taxi cab right now." It's a true story. It happened to me. I said, man, I ain't doing it for the fame. I'm doing it to make a difference. I'm doing my God work. So I want to thank everybody who believes in my God work, who support the God work. And I'll see y'all again soon. It's always fun doing We All Be Live. And let's read some of these comments before I get out of here. I read some of y'all. Wonder why this Southside player, player. I be seeing your comment. I peep game on you, brother. I believe people are talking about Alice Johnson, and we don't do the hate thing over here, brother. I know you be hating on me, but you a fan though. You a fanboy like that, and I see what you be saying. Why don't you talk about player? Southside player. Talk about Alice Johnson or Alicia Johnson, whatever her name is. But I'm gonna talk about her. I plan to talk about her more extensively. James Dean, I've been through Atlanta about a couple weeks ago. If you can contribute some money and set up, like I do speaking engagement because I really don't have a home. My home is the road. I just travel around doing research, documentaries, and doing this. So if y'all want to bring me to y'all city, just hit me up. weallbe@gmail.com. We can work out some arrangements and we'll go from there. Because I've been to Atlanta a couple weeks ago. Had to get a new alternator. I had got my alternator replaced after 222,242 miles. We can talk this. We all be. Tell me what you want to do, because we could do a show down there. I could do an event, a lecture. If you really serious about that, I'm gonna write my email. It's weallbe@gmail.com. You serious about bringing me anywhere? I have car with travel. I just got a new alternator. Like I said, I've been riding my car for about 11 years, and I just got the alternator replaced. At the time when it got replaced, it stopped on me in Atlanta. It was like 222,242 miles on my car. That's highway miles. So I travel far and in between for a good conversation. I don't mind hitting the road, driving thousands and hundreds of miles just to have a meeting of the minds and a good conversation with somebody or a group of people. Y'all see me? Weird. So that's the story of my life. That was the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. I'm sticking with it. So thank y'all for sticking with me tonight. I have some more stuff to share with y'all. So I'm gonna look back through here on the archives, see how everything turned out. Hope, it was too much T-painting going on as I was talking, but we'll see. But thank you so much, man. It feels good to be back and connected with the people. Love you madly. Take care of yourself and be good to yourself, because we all be in it to win it, man. We all be in it to win it. Peace.